It was really weird.
I hope he's not. I hope he's okay. How old?
Hey,
Well,
yeah.
he's doing a one-woman show. I mean, not one woman, one without, I mean, it could,
Okay, that's interesting.
he's doing a one-man show about Eisenhower.
Oh,
Ah,
I
I
remember
hope
that.
I hope you just caught him in a mood or he was messing with you.
Okay, we're now recording and live streaming. Hi, I'm Paul Sugarman from the Instant Shakespeare Company, and today's reading is put together by the Shaw Project by David Cedar, Dandy Dick by Arthur Wing Pinheiro. So over to you, David.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Arthur Pinheiro, who is a very prolific playwright, did write some rather delicious farces, and this is one of them, at least a comedy farce, it might be considered. And so let's just go around and introduce everybody and get started with the reading. I'm David Cedar. I am the artistic director of the Shaw Project, and I'll be reading the Reverend Augustine Jed. Paula?
I'm Paula Hosa, and I will be Georgiana Tidman.
Angus?
Hi, Angus Hepburn from London, reading Bloor the Butler.
The butler did it.
Yes.
Deborah?
Hi, Deborah Whitfield. I'm playing Sheba.
And Leah?
Hi, I'm Leah Schwartz. I'm playing Salome.
And Clint?
Hello, I'm Clinton Powell. I'm playing Mr. Darby and Noah Topping.
Show off.
Ben?
I'm Bennett Pology, and I'm playing Sir Tristram Marden.
And Kate?
Hello, I'm Kate Herland, and I'm going to be playing Hannah Topping.
And Drew?
I'm Drew Bolander, and I'm going to be playing Major Tarver and Hatcham.
Okay, folks, let's go. All right, Dandy Dick, first act. We are in the morning room of the deanery at St. Marvel's, with a large arched opening leading into the library on the right and a deeply recessed window opening out to the garden on the left. It is a bright spring morning, and an air of comfort and serenity pervades the place. Salome and Sheba are the daughters of the dean, are in the room.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Oh, my gracious goodness. Goodness gracious me.
There's only one terrible word for it. It's a fix.
No, it's worse than that. It's a scrape. How did you ever get led into it?
How did we get led into it? Half, Sheba, please.
It was Major Tarver's proposal, and I believe, Salome, that it is to you Major Tarver is paying attention.
The fancy dress masked ball at Durnstone is promoted by the officers of the Hussars. I believe that the young gentleman you have impressed calls himself an officer, though he is merely a lieutenant.
Mr. Darby is certainly an officer, a small officer. How dare you gird at me, Salome?
Well, very well then. When tonight we appear at the Durnstone Entheum, unknown to dear Papa, on the arms of Major Tarver and Major Darby, I consider that we shall be equally wicked. Oh, how can we be so wrong?
Well, we're not wrong yet. We're only going to be wrong. That's a very different matter.
That's true. Besides, there's this to remember. We're inexperienced girls and have only dear Papa. But oh, now that the ball is tonight, I repent, Sheba, I repent.
I shan't do that till tomorrow. But oh, how I shall repent tomorrow.
You'd repent now if you had seen the account for the fancy dresses.
Has it come in?
Yes, the Major enclosed it to me this morning. You know, Sheba, Major Tarver promised to get the dresses made in London, so I gave him our brown paper patterns to send to the costumier.
Oh, Salome, do you think he quizzed them?
No, I sealed them up and marked the outside, to be opened only by a lady.
That's all right. I hate the plan of myself in brown paper.
Well, of course, Major Tarver begged to be allowed to pay for the dresses, and I said I couldn't dream of permitting it, and then he said he should be most unhappy if he didn't, and just as I thought he was going to have his own way, he cheered up and said he'd yield to a lady, and oh, he's yielded.
Read it. Don't spare me.
Debtor to Louis Isaacs, costumier to the Queen, Bow Street. 1 gown, period French Revolution, 1798, 15 guineas.
Oh!
Trimmings, linings, buttons, frillings, 7 guineas.
Yeah!
That's mine.
Now for mine. Oh!
1 skirt and bodice, flower girl, period uncertain, 10 guineas.
Less than yours. What a shame.
Trimmings, linings, buttons, frillings, 5 guineas, extras, 2 guineas, total £40, cash 19. Ladies' own brown paper patterns, mislaid, terms, cash.
Salome!
Sheba.
Are there £40 in the wide world?
My heart weighs 20. What shall we do?
If we were only a few years older, I should suggest that we wrote nice notes to Papa and committed suicide.
Brought up as we have been, that's out of the question.
Then let us be brave women and wear the dresses.
Of course we'll do that, but the bill.
Yeah, we must get dear Papa in a good humour and coax him to make us a present of money. He knows we haven't been charitable in the town for ever so long.
Poor dear Papa. He hasn't paid our proper dressmaker's bill yet, and I'm sure he's pressed for money.
But we can't help that when we're pressed for money. Poor dear Papa.
Suppose poor Papa refuses to give us a present?
Then we must play the piano and when he's at work on his concordance. Poor dear Papa.
However, don't let us wrong poor Papa in advance. Let's try to think how nice we shall look.
Oh, yes, shan't I?
Oh, I shall. And as for stealing out of the house with Major Tarver when poor dear Papa has gone to bed, why, Gerald Tarver would die for me.
So would Nugent Darby for me. Besides, I'm not old enough to know better.
You're not so very much younger than I, Sheba.
Indeed, Salome. Then why do you keep me in short skirts?
Why, you cruel girl, you know I can't lengthen you till I'm married.
The 2 gentlemen soldiers have just rode up, Miss Salome.
You mean Major Tarver?
And Mr. Darby. They have called to inquire after poor Papa.
Poor Papa.
Shall I show him in, Miss Sheba?
Yes, Blore dear, and hang your H's on the hat stand.
Hussies.
Am I all right, Sheba?
Yes, am I?
Yes. Here they are. How well Gerald Tarver dismounts.
He left his liver in India, didn't he?
No, only part of it.
Well, part of it.
And that he gave to his queen. Brave fellow.
Where shall we be? Here?
All right, you be admiring my voice.
Oh, I dare say.
Here they are, and we're doing nothing.
Let's run away and then come in unconsciously.
Yes, unconsciously.
The Dean's out of the way, eh?
Yes, sir, he is.
Eh? How is the Dean? Never mind, perhaps Miss Jedd is at home?
Yes, sir, she is.
It would be discourteous to run away without asking Miss Jedd after her father.
A deuced bad form.
The ladies were here a minute ago.
Major Tarver.
Mr. Darby?
My dear Miss Jedd.
Hiya, hiya.
You quite startled us.
Oh, did we?
Awfully cut up to hear it.
We never dreamt of finding 2 visitors for Papa.
Well, you told me to show the gentleman in, Miss Sheba.
You needn't wait, Blore.
Let them hang that on the hat stand.
We thought we'd ride over directly after the parade to make the final arrangements for tonight. Have the costumes arrived?
Yes, they came yesterday in a hamper labeled Miss Jedd, Secretary, Cast-Off Clothing Distribution League.
Oh, that was my idea. It came to me in the middle of the night.
Dear Major Tarver, surely this terrible strain on your nerves is very, very bad for you with your...
My liver? Say the word, Miss Jedd.
Oh, Major Tarver.
It is frightfully injurious. Of course, I'm excited now, and you see me at my best. But the alternating fits of hopeless despondency are shocking to witness and endure.
Oh.
Oh, it's all that damned India. Oh, what have I said? Oh, will you ever forgive me?
Be afraid I will.
Never. Oh, Miss Jed, my forgetfulness has brought me one of my terrible attacks of depression.
Major Tarver.
Your remarks about the army are extremely complimentary. On behalf of the army, I thank you. We fellows are not a bad sort. Take us all around.
There's a grand future before you, isn't there?
Well, I suppose there is if I go on as I'm going now.
Oh, thanks. The attack has passed. Now, about tonight. At what time is the house entirely quiet?
Poor dear Papa goes round with Blore at 9:30. After that, all is peace and rest.
Oh, then if we're here with a close carriage at 10.
Some of us army men can slave too. Tarver's queer liver has thrown all the arrangement for the fancy ball on my shoulders. Look at him. That's when he's enjoying life.
Oh, good, Miss Jed.
But suppose dear Papa should hear us crunching down the gravel path.
Oh.
There, now his career is a burden to him.
Oh.
Would you like a glass of water, Major Tarver?
Thank you, my dear Miss Jed. With the least suggestion of cayenne pepper in it.
Oh, Salome, Papa.
The Dean.
The Dean?
Papa.
Pepsi.
Salome, my toy child. Oh, dear me, strangers.
Papa, Major Tarver and Mr. Darby have ridden over from Durnstone to ask how your cold is.
Dear me, Major, Mr. Garvey.
Mr. Darby.
Darby, how good of you. My cold is better. Major, Mr. Garvey, these inquiries strike me as being so kind. I insist, no, I beg that you will share our simple dinner with us tonight at 6 o'clock.
Oh,
Let me see. Tuesday night is...
Leg of mutton, Papa.
Thank you. Mutton hot.
And custards, Pepsi.
Thank you, toy child. Custards cold. And a welcome warm.
well, that is certainly, Dean, certainly.
Delighted, my dear Dean, delighted.
What will happen tonight?
Why don't you see, as you will have to drive over to dine, you will both be here on the spot, ready to take us back to Durnstone.
Of course, when we've turned out, we can hang about in the lane till you're ready.
Yes, but when are we to make our preparations? It'll take a long time to look like Charles I.
We can drive about Dunstan while you dress.
Charles I? Oh, Major.
That was my idea, Charles the Martyr, you know. Tarver is a martyr to his liver. See?
Oh, shan't we all look magnificent?
Grand idea, the whole thing.
A regular army notion.
Here is Papa.
We waited to say good morning.
How kind. Good morning.
6 o'clock sharp, Dean.
At 6 punctually. Salome, represent me by escorting these gentlemen to the gate. Sheba.
Pepsi.
Check me in a growing tendency dislike Mr. Garvey. At dinner, Sheba, watch that I carve for him fairly.
Yes, Pepsi.
Oh, bills. Bills. Oh, bills. Bills. Oh.
Papa's alone.
A beautiful opportunity to ask for that little present of money. Poor dear Papa.
Poor
dear Papa.
Don't go, children. Stop, children.
Papsy's in a good humour.
He always is.
Papsy will listen to our little wants.
Oh dear. Your wants are very little ones. What are they, Salome? What are they, poor child?
Papa, have you any spare cash?
Spare cash? Oh, playful Salome.
Pounds, shillings, pence, Papsy, or pounds, shillings, Papsy, and never mind the pence.
I'm glad, really glad, children, that you have broken through a reserve which has existed on this point for at least a fortnight and babbled for money. It gives me the opportunity of meeting your demands with candor. Children, I have love for you, solicitude for you, but I have no spare cash for anybody.
Lost.
Done for.
And now you have so chillily opened the subject, let me tell you with equal good humor that this sort of thing must be put a stop to. Your dressmaker's bill is shocking. Your milliner gives an analytical record of the feverish beatings of the hot pulse of fashion. Your general draper blows a rancorous blast which would bring dismay to the stoutest heart. Let me for once peal out a deep guttural bass to your childish treble and say emphatically, I've had enough of it.
We've been brought up as young ladies. That can't be done for nothing.
She was small, but she cuts into a lot of material.
My girls, it is such unbosomings as this which preserve the domestic unity of a family. Weep, howl, but listen. The total of these weeds which spring up in the beautiful garden of paternity is 156,18,3. Now, all the money I can immediately command is considerably under £500.
Oh, Papa.
Oh, what a lot.
Hush, but read, Salome. Read aloud this paragraph in the Times of yesterday. There, my child.
A munificent officer, Dr. Jedd, the Dean of St. Marvel's, whose anxiety for the preservation of the Minster spire threatens to undermine his health, has subscribed the munificent sum of £1,000 to the Restoration Fund. Oh!
Oh, and we gasping for clothing.
Read on, my child.
On condition that 7 other donors come forward, each with the like sum. And will they?
My darling, times are bad, but one never knows.
If they don't?
Then you will have your new summer dresses as usual.
But if they do, speak, Father.
Then we will all rejoice.
Rejoice.
And retrench. 2 R's, little ones. Retrench and rejoice.
The second post, sir. Just in.
Thank you.
They've had a scolding, hussies. Let them hang that on the hat stand.
Blore, this note from Mr. Hodder, the secretary of the Sport and Relaxation Repression Guild, reminds me that tomorrow is the first day of the races, the St. Marvel's Spring Meeting, as it is called.
Indeed, sir. Fancy that. And I not know it.
All our servants may not resemble you, Blore. Pray remind them in the kitchen and the stable of the rule of the house.
No servant allowed to leave the deanery on any pretence while the races is on.
While the races are on. Thank you, Blore.
Thank you, sir. Oh, if the dean only knew the good thing I could put him onto for the Durston handicap.
Oh, children, Salome, Sheba, here is good news.
Good news.
What is it?
Your aunt.
Left us some money?
Your aunt is coming to live with us.
To what?
To live with us? What aunt?
My dear widowed sister, Georgiana Tidman.
What's she like?
We don't want her.
Good gracious, Georgiana and I reconciled after all these years. She will help us to keep expenses down.
Keep the expenses down.
A second mother to my girls. She will implant the principles of retrenchment if their father cannot.
But, Papa, who is Aunt... What's her name?
Who is she?
My dears, a mournful, miserable history. When you were infants, your Aunt Georgiana married an individual whose existence I felt it my sad duty never to recognize.
A bad man.
He died 10 years ago, and therefore we will say a misguided man. He was a person who bred horses to run in races for amusement, combined with profit. He was also what is called a gentleman jockey, and it was your aunt's wifely boast that if ever he vexed her, she could take a stone off his weight in half an hour. Oh, in due course, his neck was dislocated.
My aunt?
Hush, child, no. You will be little wiser when I tell you he came a cropper.
How awful it all sounds.
Left a widow, you would think it natural that Georgiana Tidman would have flown to her brother, himself a widower. Not at all. Maddened, I hope, by grief, she continued her career of a misguided husband, and for years, to use her terrible words, she was the daisy of the turf.
What's that?
I don't know, toy child, but at length retribution came. Ill luck fell upon her. Her horses, stock, everything came to the hammer. That was my hour. Come to me, I wrote. My children yearn for you. At the Deanery of St. Marvel's, with the cares of a household and a stable which contains only a 13-year-old pony, you may obtain rest and forgetfulness. And she is coming.
When?
She merely says soon. Salome, Sheba, you will, I fear, find her a sad, broken creature, a weary fragment, a wave-tossed derelict. Let it be your patient endeavor to win back a flickering smile to the wan features of this chastened widow.
I telegram, sir.
No, Aunt Tidman flickers a smile at me.
I wouldn't be in her shoes for something.
Salt in her bed, Salome.
Yes, and the peg out rattling window.
Good gracious! Bless me, girls, your Aunt Georgiana slept at the Wheat Sheaf at Durnston last night and is coming on this morning.
Today?
Blore, tell Willis to get the chase out. Salome, child, you and I will drive into Durnston. We may be in time to bring your aunt over. My hat, Sheba, quick. No, yes. The bell? It can't be. Children, I wonder if this is your Aunt Georgina.
Mrs. Tidman.
Well, Gus, my boy, how are you?
Georgiana.
You're putting on too much flesh, Augustine. They should give you a 10-miler daily in a blanket.
My dear sister.
Are these your 2-year-olds? Kiss your aunt. Mwah! Kiss your aunt. Mwah! Bless you both. What names do you run under?
I'm Salome.
I'm Sheba.
My little and your stable companion could give you a stone and then get her nose in front.
Georgiana, I fear these poor innocents don't follow your well-intentioned but inappropriate illustrations.
Oh, we'll soon wake 'em up. Well, Augustine, my boy, it's nearly 20 years since you and I munched our corn together.
Our estrangement has been painfully prolonged.
Oh, since then we both run many races, though we've never met in the same events. The world has ridden us both pretty hard at times, Gus, hasn't it? We've been punished and pulled and let down pretty often, but here we are, sound in the wind yet. You're doing well, Gus. They say you're going up the hill neck and neck with your bishop. I've dropped out of it. The mares don't last, Gus. And it's good and kind of you to give me a dry stable and a clean litter, and to keep me out of the shafts of a Shrewsbury and Talbot.
Salome, I don't quite understand her, but I like Aunt.
So do I. But She's not my idea of a wary fragment or chastened widow.
My dear Georgiana, I rejoice that you meet me in this affectionate spirit, and pardon me, when you have caught a little of the tone of the deanery.
Oh, I'll catch it. If I don't, the deanery will catch a little of my tone. Same thing.
Poor child.
Oh, trust George Tidd for setting things quite square in a palace or a puddle.
George Tidd? Who is George Tidd?
I am George Tidd. That was my racing name. Ask after George Tidd at Newmarket. They'll tell you all about me. My colours were crimson and black diamonds. There you are.
Oh, dear me. Very interesting. Georgiana, my dear, one moment, children. I understand distinctly from your letter that all this is finally abandoned.
Oh, worse luck. They'll never see my colours at the post again.
And the contemplation of sport generally as a mental distraction?
Oh, yes, I dare say you'll manage to wean me from that too, in time.
In time? Well, but Georgiana.
Ah, there's a visitor. I'll tootle upstairs and have a groom down. Make the running, girls. At what time do we feed, Augustine?
There is luncheon at 1 o'clock.
Right. The air here is so fresh I shan't be sorry to get my nose bag on.
My sister Georgiana, my widowed sister Georgiana. Dear me, I'm quite disturbed. Surely the serene atmosphere of the deanery will work a change. It must. If not, what a grave mistake I have made. Oh, good gracious. No, I won't think of it. Still, it is a little unfortunate that poor Georgiana should arrive here on the very eve of these terrible races at St. Marvel's. Who is it, Blore? Sir Tristram Marden? Oh, dear, dear. Certainly, Blore, certainly, Blore. Marden. Why, Marden, I haven't met since Oxford.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my dear Marden, are we boys again?
Of course we are. Boys again.
Well, how I quite forgot how rough Marden used to be. It all comes back to me now.
You think I'm changed?
Oh, only in appearance.
I'm still a bachelor. Got terribly jilted by a woman years ago and have run in blinkers ever since. Can't be helped, Kenneth. You're married, aren't you?
I have been a widower for 15 years.
Oh, Lord. Awfully sorry. Can't be helped, Kenneth. Forgive me, old chap.
Oh.
Oh, I've reopened an old wound. Damn stupid of me.
Hush, Marden, please.
All right. Well, what do you think I'm down here for?
For the benefit of your health, Marden.
Ha! Never had an ache in my life. Can't come and hear you preach next Sunday, Gus.
I do not preach next Sunday.
You'd better not. No, I'm here for the races.
The races? Hush, my dear Marden, my girls.
Girls? May I trot them into the paddock tomorrow?
Thank you, no.
Think it over. You've seen the list of starters for the Durnston Handicap?
No, I haven't.
Well, but look here. Sir Tristan Marden's Dandy Dick, 9 stone 2, Tom Gallowwood up. What do you think of that?
I don't think anything like that.
Look out for my colours. Black and white with a pink cap. First past the post tomorrow.
Really, my dear Marden.
Good heavens, Jed, they talk about Bonnie Betsy.
I grieve to hear it. The tongue of scandal is...
Do you imagine, sir, for one moment, that Bonnie Betsy, with a boy on her back, can get down that bill with those legs of hers?
Another horse, I presume.
Not a bay more. George Tidd knew what she was about when she stuck to Dandy Dick to the very best.
George Tidd?
Georgiana Tidman. Dandy came out of her stable after she smashed.
Bless me.
Poor old George. I wonder what's become of her.
My dear Martin, I'm of course heartily pleased to revive this in this way our old acquaintance. I wish it were in my power to offer you the hospitality of the deanery, but
Don't name it. My horse and I are over the way in the Swan. Come and have a look at Dandy Dick.
Martin, you don't understand. My position at St. Marvel's is...
Oh, I see, Jen. I beg your pardon. Yeah. You mean that the colours you ride in don't show up well on the hill yonder or in the stable of the Swan Inn?
You must remember...
I remember that in your young days you made the heaviest book on the Derby of any of our fellows.
I always lost, Martin. Indeed, I always lost.
I remember that you once matched a mare of your own against another of Lord Bexlade's for £50.
Yes, but she wasn't in it, Martin. I mean, she was dreadfully beaten.
Oh, Jed. Other times, other manners. Goodbye, old boy.
You're not offended, Martin.
Offended? No. Only sorry, Dean. Damn sorry to see a promising lad come to an end like this. By Jove! No, what? Kid?
Oh, Mark.
Of all places in the world to find Mr. Tid. Why, gee, you've been chaffing me, haven't you?
Martin.
Yeah, no, yes, you have. You've been roasting your old friend. Tid is a pal of yours, eh?
Sir Tristram Martin, Mrs. Tidman is my sister.
Your sister?
Yes. I've been running a bit dark, Martin, but that stout, well-seasoned animal over there and this skittish creature come of the same stock and were foaled in the same stable. There are a couple of yearlings here you don't know, my nieces, Salome and Sheba.
How do you do? Well, I don't care whose sister you are, but I'm jolly glad to see you, George, my boy.
Gracious, Tris, don't squeeze my hand so.
Salome, Sheba, children, I must speak to you. Excuse me, Martin. Oh, what shall I do with my widowed sister?
My Pa, just as we were getting interested.
We'll come back in a minute.
Lord, how odd. You know your brother and I were at Oxford together, George?
Are you, Tris? Then are you putting up here?
He won't have me.
Won't have you?
Because I'm down here racing. You see, he's a dean.
Is he? Well, then, you just lay 1,000 sovereigns to a gooseberry that in this house I'm a dean too.
I suppose he's thinking of the canons and the bishop and those chaps.
Oh, Lord bless your heart. They're all right when you cheer 'em up a bit. If I'm here till the autumn meeting, you'll find me lunching on the hill with the canons marking my card and the dear old bishop mixing the salad. So say the word, Tris. I'll make it all right with Augustine.
No, thanks, old fellow. The fact is I'm fixed at the Swan with, well, what do you think, George? Dandy Dick.
My old dandy.
Brought him down with me in Lavender. You know he runs for the Dunstan Handicap tomorrow. Dunstan Handicap.
No, there's precious little that horse does that I don't know, and what I don't know, I dream. Is he fit?
As a fiddle. Shines like a mirror, not an ounce too much or too little. He'll romp in.
He'll dance in. Tris Marden.
Eh?
Tris, Dandy Dick doesn't belong to you, not all of him.
No, I've only half share. At your sale, he was knocked down to John Fiedler, the trainer. The other half belongs to John.
No, it doesn't. It belongs to me.
Sure.
Yes, directly I saw Dandy Dick marched out before the auctioneer, I asked John Fielder to help me, and he did, like a Briton. For I can't live without horse flesh if it's only a piece of cat's meat on a skewer. But when I condescended to keep company with the canons and the bishop here, I promised Augustine that I wouldn't own anything on 4 legs. So John sold you half of Dick, And I can swear that I don't own a horse. And I don't. Not a whole one. But half a horse is better than no bread, Tris. And we're partners. Are you laughing at, man?
Dean, the Dean. I beg your pardon, George. Well, now you know he's fit, of course. You're going back to Dandy Dick for the Durnston Handicap.
Back him? For every penny I got in the world. That isn't much. But if I'm not a richer woman by £1,000 tomorrow night, I shall have had a bad day.
Neighbor.
Hush. Hello.
It's only us, Aunt.
I'll be off.
Keep your eye on the old horse, Tristram.
Don't fear. Good morning, George.
Good morning, partner. You be quiet.
Say goodbye to the Dean for me.
Aunt, dear Aunt.
Well, girls?
Aunt, Salome has something to say to you.
No, it's Sheba.
You're shivering all over. Hello, little.
Aunt, dear Aunt Georgiana, we heard you say something about £1,000.
Oh, you've been listening.
No, we only merely heard. And oh, Aunt, £1,000 is such a lot, and we poor girls want such a little.
Money.
Yes, Salome has rather got into debt.
Oh, my gracious.
I haven't any more than you have, Sheba.
Well, I'm in debt too, but I only meant to beg for Salome, but now I ask for both of us. Oh, Aunt Tidman, Papa has told us that you have known troubles.
So I have. Heaps of them.
Oh, I'm so glad, because Salome and I are weary fragments too. We're everything awful but chastened widows. We owe £40 unknown to Pa.
£40.19.
Why, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves, you girls.
We are.
Ah,
To cry and go on like this about £40.
But we've only got 15 and threepence of our own in the world. And, oh, Aunt, you know something about the races, don't you?
Eh?
If you do, help two poor creatures to win £40.19. Aunt Georgiana, what's Dandy Dick you were talking to that gentleman about?
Child, Dandy Dick's a horse.
We thought so. Then let Dandy Dick win us some money.
No, I won't hear of it.
Oh, do.
do.
Go away, I won't. I say decidedly, I will not.
Oh, do.
Do, and we'll love you forever and ever, dear Aunt Georgiana.
You will. Oh, bless your little innocent faces. Do you want to win £40?
Yes.
Do you want to win £50?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Very well then. Put your very petticoats on Dandy Dick.
No.
Oh.
And curtain, end of the first act. Let's take a little break till, let's say, 10 of, and start with Act 2. Anybody there? Is anybody there?
Hi, David.
How are you doing?
Doing well, your good self?
Hi,
Pretty
David.
well. Had a very nasty setback. I'll talk about that after we finish the reading. Not a health setback, something different kind.
Good.
We've got a little ways to go.
Hi, kids.
Hey, I like the stash.
You like what?
I like Ben's mustache.
So sudden, I didn't plan it. Just suddenly, I thought, just in modern, sporting cap. Stuff it.
Yeah.
That's the famous mustache that he uses for certain things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the moment when it starts to unravel, Ben.
It already did. You didn't see it? Oh yeah, I forgot when you use these things, you got a part where you're smiling a lot. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, forget it. Yeah.
It already did. You did. I just played it off so well you didn't catch it. I just
Well, there you are. You see, you
put it
carried
back
it so
on, you
well.
know. But I've since re-top stick stack. It.
Good.
I got a nice. I emailed Alan, and he emailed me back. So he really would like to do some reading. So that's good.
Oh yeah, good. Because I was surprised. I thought he just didn't want to do them. That's why I hadn't seen him.
Well, every time I asked him in recent times or after the last few years, he was always busy and couldn't do it. So
his band was so funny. I don't know if everybody knows. His 75th birthday was yesterday, and his little band played at the Pony Bar on the Upper East Side, and they were hysterical. They did. It's like a skiffle band. It's a tuba, little washboard percussion,
Oh, fun.
bassoon or something, and a ukulele. It's a banjo ukulele. Sounds a little more like a ukulele, but looks like a band. And they did, among other things, Officer Krupke, a Blizzard Old Standards. They did a song. They did though a deer, a female deer, but with the lyrics rewritten to be all about beer. He looked great. He had a valve replaced and knee replacement, and I gave him a hug. He feels rock solid, like Steve Brown used to if you ever clapped him on the shoulder. And he doesn't work out. He's just active and busy. He seemed great. It was really nice. I hadn't seen him in a long time.
It's 10 of. I think we're all back. Are we all back?
Is
Well,
Mr. Joe there?
The people.
Everybody's back.
Wait, okay. The people we need for the beginning of the second act are all here. Okay. Act 2 takes place in the morning room at the deanery with the fire and the lamps lighted. It is after dinner. Sheba is playing the piano, Salome lolling upon the settee, and Georgiana pouring out tea. And they're all in evening dress.
Sugar Sally? I call you Sally, Salome. The evening's too short for your name.
All right, Aunt George, 2 lumps, please.
Little one?
2 lumps and 1 in the saucer to eat.
Quite a relief to shake off the gentleman, isn't it?
Do you think so, Aunt?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, now I understand why my foot was always in the way under the dinner table.
I thought the dinner was an overwhelming success.
All our dinners are at the deanery.
Awfully jolly. Mutton was overdone.
That's our new cook's one's failing.
But the potatoes weren't. They rattled.
Cook never can manage potatoes.
And what was wrong with the custards?
Well, it was Cook's first attempt at custard.
But they served one useful end. Now we know the chimney wants sweeping.
But it was a frightfully jolly dinner. Take it all round.
Yes, take it all round. One has to take things all round.
What made us all so sad and silent, taking us all round?
Dear Papa was as lively as an owl with neuralgia.
Well, Major Tarver isn't a conversational cracker.
Gerald Tarver has no liver to speak of.
They might have spoken about his lungs or something to cheer us up.
I fancy Mr. Darby was about to make a witty remark once.
Yes, and then the servant handed him a dish and he shied at it. So we lost that.
Still, we ought to congratulate ourselves upon a
Upon a
frightfully jolly dinner. Excuse me, girls. I've some figures to work out. If Dandy Dick hadn't fed better at the Swan than we have at the Deanery, he won't be in the first three. Let me see.
all settled, Sheba, isn't it?
Yes, everything. Directly the house is silent, we let ourselves out at the front door.
How do we get in again?
By this window. It has a patent safety fastening, so it can be opened with a hairpin.
We're courageous girls, aren't we?
Yes, I don't consider we're ordinary young ladies at all.
If we had known Aunt a little longer, we might have confided in her and taken her with us.
Poor Aunt. We mustn't spoil her.
I venture to differ with you, my dear Dean.
Oh, here come the waxworks.
I've just been putting the Dean right about a little army question, Mrs. I can't catch your name.
Don't try, you'd come out in spots like measles.
Children, it is useless to battle against it much longer.
Against what, Papa?
A feeling of positive distaste for Mr. Darby.
Oh, Papsy, think what Wellington was at his age.
Major!
Oh.
Well again.
Indigestion. I'm always like this after dinner.
But what would you do if the trumpet summoned you to battle?
Oh, I suppose I should pack up a few charcoal biscuits and toddle out, you know.
I've never studied the army guide.
You're thinking of the...
A turf guide, beg pardon. I mean, the army keeps a string of trained nurses, doesn't it?
There are army nurses.
Certainly. I was wondering whether your colonel will send one with a perambulator to fetch you at about, 8:30. Well, Gus, my boy, you seem out of condition.
I'm rather anxious for the post to bring today's Times. You know I've offered £1,000 to our restoration fund.
What?
Hush, I'll tell you.
Oh, certainly. Delighted. Come into the garden, Maud, for the black bat night.
You know yourself again.
I'm always dreadfully excited when I'm asked to sing. It's as good as a carbonate of soda lozenge to me to be asked to sing. My music is in my overcoat pocket.
And Mr. Darby has brought his violin.
Ah, there now.
You'll find it in the hall.
Oh, he always presumes with his confounded fiddle when I'm going to entertain. He knows his fiddle's never hoarse and that I am sometimes.
Tarver always tries to cut me out with his elderly chest, see? He ought to put it to the retired list.
I'll sing him off his legs tonight. I'm in lovely voice. Come into the garden, Maud.
He needn't bother himself while he was doing it at dozing in the carriage. I threw his music out of the window.
Oh, my tones are like a beautiful bell this evening. I'm so glad for all our sakes. Thank you. That's it.
What will you begin with?
Oh, come into the garden, Maud. I've begun with come into the garden, Maud, for years and years. Oh, Miss Jedd, I've forgotten my music.
Oh,
Major Tarver.
Tarver. Never mind. Mr. Darby will play.
Will you accompany me?
To the end of the world.
My mother says that my bowing is something like Joachim's, and she ought to know.
Why?
Oh, because she's heard Joachim.
Well, after all, George, my boy, you're not stabled in such a bad box. Here's a regular, pure, simple English evening at home.
£1,000 to the restoration fund and all those bills to settle. Oh dear, what shall I do?
I hope my ball dress will drive all the other women mad.
I feel I should like to garrote him with his bass string.
I think I shall hedge a bit over the crumbly steaks.
I wonder how old Tarver's sea chest likes a holiday.
Must get Pa to bed early. Dear Papa's always so dreadfully in the way.
No, there's nothing like it in any other country. A regular, pure, simple English evening at home.
You're muted. Angus.
The paper's just arrived.
This is my fault. There may be something in the Times of special interest to me. Thank you, Blore.
Spoiled his pianissimo.
Is there anything interesting in the paper, Papa?
Mr. Darby?
Papa, is there anything interesting in the paper?
Oh, good God, I'm missing pages.
Top of
Perhaps on page 51 of the Times.
Oh, just a moment, Blast it. Oh, this is the wrong one. Happened. Hell. God. Oh, I can't believe it.
What's the matter?
Papa!
The Dean!
Children, Georgiana, friends, my munificent offer has produced the desired result.
Oh!
7 wealthy people, including 3 brewers, have come forward with £1,000 apiece in aid of the restoration of the Minster spire.
Ah!
That means a cool 1,000 out of your pocket, Gus.
Yes, the anxiety to which the Dean of St. Marvel's has so long been a victim will now doubtless be relieved. I suppose I shall feel the relief tomorrow.
What's wrong with the spire? Nobody sleeps in it.
It is a little out of repair, but hardly sufficient so to warrant this presumptuous interference of 3 brewers. Excuse me, I think I'll enjoy the fresh air for a moment. Oh, bless me, look there.
Oh, what's that?
It's a conflagration.
Where is it? Are we safe?
Where is it? Are we safe?
Where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it?
The old Swan Inn's afire.
The Swan Inn? You, girls, get my hat and coat. Somebody fetch me a pair of boots. Oh. Don't watch me. Let me your boots.
Oh, I daren't. If I once get cold extremities.
Oh.
Where are you, Georgiana? Where are you going?
Going? I'm going to help clear the stables at the Swan.
Remember what you are, my sister, a lady.
I'm not. George Tidd's a man every inch of her. Tris Arden, speak.
Oh.
The horse. The horse. You got him out?
Safe and sound.
Oh, safe and sound. That old horse has backed himself to win the handicap.
George, his tail is singed a bit.
Oh, the less weight for him to carry tomorrow. Poor old Dandy. He never was much to look at.
Yeah, the worst of it is the fools threw 2 pails of cold water over him to put it out.
Oh, that's done him.
Now, my dear Georgiana, what is a horse?
A living example to a dean. Where is the animal?
My man Hatcham is running him up down the lane here to try and get him warm again.
Where are you going to put the homeless beast up now?
I don't know.
I do, though.
Madwoman, what are you going to do?
Bring Dandy Dick into our stables.
No, no.
Ah, the very place.
Oh, yes.
Marden, I appeal to you.
Dean, I am ashamed of you.
Are you ready?
Yeah, George, you're a brick.
A brick, am I? One partner pulls Dandy out of the swamp, t'other leads Dandy into the deanery. Quick, my lad.
Oh, what is happening to me? It will be in all the sporting papers. Sir Tristram Marden's Dandy Dick reflected great credit upon the deanery's stables. The sporting dean! Oh, no.
They're getting the flames under. If I had had my galoshes with me, I should have been here, there, and everywhere.
Where there's a crowd of civilians, the military exercises wise discretion in restraining themselves.
You had better go now, then we'll get the house quiet as soon as possible. Poor Papa looks worried.
Poor Papa.
We will wait with the carriage in the lane.
Yes, yes. Papa, Major Tarver and Mr. Darby must go.
Oh, dear me, I'm very remiss.
Most fascinating evening.
Charming, my dear Dean.
Major Tarver's carriage.
At the gate, Miss Salome.
Don't risk the cold, Papa.
By the by, my dear Dean, come over and see me. We ought to know more of each other. Say Monday.
I will not say Monday.
Any time you like. Oh, and I say, let me know when you preach, and I'll get some of our fellows to give their patronage.
Oh, another moment, and I fear I should be violently rude to him. A guest under my roof. Oh, Blore, now understand, if that Mr. Darby ever again presumes to present himself to the deanery, I will not see him.
Oh, I left my violin.
Oh, Mr. Darby, hear an explanation.
Don't be down, Tris, my boy. Cheer up, lad. He'll be fit yet, bar a chill. He knew me. He knew me when I kissed his dear old nose.
He'd be a fool of a horse if he hadn't felt deuced flattered at that.
He's no fool. He knows he's in the deanery, too. Did you see him cast up his eyes and lay his ears back when I let him in?
Oh, George, it's such a pity about his tail.
Not it. You watch his head tomorrow. That'll come in first.
Yes, sir.
What is it?
I just wanted round to tell you that Dandy's is feeding as steady as a baby with a bottle.
Oh, don't you close your eyes all night.
Oh, not me, Mum. And I've got hold of the constable here, Mr. Topping. He's going to sit up with me for company's sake.
The constable?
Yes, Sir Tristram. I bless you and the lady, sir. Supposing the fire at the Swan weren't no accident.
Eh?
Supposing it were a insiderism, and supposing our horse was the object.
Good gracious.
That's why I ain't going to watch single-handed.
Well, get back then, get back.
Right, sir. There's only one mortal fear I've got about our Dandy.
What's that?
What's that?
He hasn't found out about his tail yet, sir. And when he does, it'll fret him, as sure as my name's Bob Atcham.
Keep the stable pitch dark. He mayn't notice it.
Oh, not tonight, sir. He's a proud horse, and what'll he think hisself when he's ill on the hill tomorrow? You and me and the ladies, sir. Yeah, it'd be different with us, but how's our dandy going to hide his bereavement?
You have returned, Georgina.
Yes, thank you.
And that animal?
In our stables, safe and snug.
Oh,
You can sleep tonight with the happy consciousness of having sheltered the outcast.
we are locking up now. The poor children, exhausted with the alarm, beg me to say good night for them. The fire is quite extinguished.
Yes, sir. But I hear they've just sent into Dunstan asking for the military to watch the ruins in case of another outbreak. It'll stop the wicked ball at the Athenaeum, it will.
I suppose you want to see the last of me, Jed?
Pardon.
Be unkind, Trace. Where shall we stow the dear old chap, Gus, my boy?
Where shall we stow the dear old chap? I really don't know.
Well, let me see. We don't want to pitch you out of your loft if we can help it, Gus.
No, we won't do that. David?
A minute.
Top of page 61, your first line.
Well, I don't understand how this happened.
Well, I'd write a letter.
Don't consider me in this matter, but there is Sheba's little cot still standing in the old nursery.
That's just the thing for me, the old nursery.
The old nursery. Toys to play with if you wake early.
Is there anything else before we lock up?
Put Sir Tristram to bed carefully in the nursery, Blore.
Good night, old boy. I'm too done for a hand of piquet tonight.
I never play cards.
Yeah, I'll teach you during my stay at the deanery.
You're staying with me.
Good night, George.
Good night, partner. Heaven bless the little innocent in his cot. Tris, you may take your pipe up with you. We smoke all over the deanery.
I never smoke. Does she?
Tra-la, tra-la. Now, Mr. Tidwheel Toddle, tra-la, tra-la. Gus, don't like your looks. Shall let the vet see you in the morning. What's wrong with you? Money?
There are bills. At a more convenient time, it would be my grateful duty to discharge.
And you're short.
Short.
Stumped. At a coin? Run low? What'll square the bills?
Very little would settle the bills, but...
I know. The spire. My gosh, you haven't got that 1,000.
There are a very large number of estimable, worthy men who do not possess £1,000. With that number, I have the mournful pleasure of enrolling myself.
When's the settling day?
Hmm?
When will you have to fork out?
Unless the restoration is immediately commenced, the spire will certainly crumble.
And it's a match between you and the spire, which parts first. Gus, will you let your little sister lend you a hand?
I did, Georgiana. Impossible.
No, not out of my own pocket. Come here. Can you squeeze a pair of ponies?
Can I what?
Can you raise £50?
Certainly, more than £50.
No, don't be rash. That's the worst of you beginners. Only 50 by tomorrow morning.
Most assuredly.
Very well then. Clap it on Dandy Dick.
What?
He's a certainty. If those 2 buckets of water haven't put him off it. He's a moral. If he doesn't think of his tail coming down the hill, there's nothing like him at the weight. Keep it dark, Gus. Don't breathe a word to any of your canons or archdeacons, or they'll rush at it and shorten the price for us. Go in, Gus, my boy. Take your poor widowed sister's tip and sleep as peacefully as a blessed baby. Mwah.
Oh, Mrs. Tidman, go to your room.
Augustine!
In the morning, I will endeavour to frame some verbal expression of the horror with which I regard your proposal. For the present, you are my parents' child, and I trust your bed is well aired.
Oh, very well, Augustine. I've done all I can for the spire. Bonsoir, old boy.
Good night.
If you're wiser in the morning, just send Blore on to the course, and he'll put the money on for you.
Blore? My poor devoted old servant will be lost on a race course.
Would he? He was quite at home in Tattersall's ring when I was at St. Marvel's last summer.
Blore?
Blore! I recognised the veteran sportsman the moment I came into the deanery.
What was my butler doing at the St. Marvel's races?
Investing the savings of your cook and housemaid, of course. You don't think your servants are as narrow as you are.
Oh!
Ah, Blore. What a sportsman he is.
Where is Blore? Where is Blore?
Beg your pardon, sir. Shall I go the round, sir?
Blore.
Mum?
Breakfast at 9 sharp. And pack a hamper with a cold chicken, some French rolls, and 2 bottles of Heidsick. Label it George Tidd and send it on to the hill. I'll stand the racket. Good night.
Dear high-spirited lady. Aren't you well, sir?
Serpent!
Meaning me, sir?
Lock up. I'll speak to you in the morning. Lock up. Oh, what dreadful wave threatens to engulf the deanery? What has come to us in a few fatal hours? A horse of sporting tendencies contaminating my stables, his equally vicious owner nestling in the nursery, and my own widowed sister, in all probability, smoking a cigarette at a bedroom window with her feet on the window ledge. What's that? I thought I heard footsteps in the garden. I could see nothing, only the old spire standing out against the threatening sky. The spire, my principal creditor. Oh, my principal creditor, the most conspicuous object of the city.
I found these, sir, on your dressing table. They're banknotes, sir.
Thank you. I placed them there to be sent to the bank tomorrow. 10, 10, 20, 5, 5, 50. 50 pounds. The very sum Georgiana urged me to. Oh, leave me. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Blore.
Sir?
What made you tempt me with these at such a moment?
Tempt you, sir? The window was open and I feared they might blow away.
And what were you doing at the St. Marvel's races last summer?
Oh, sir, I knew that high-spirited lady would bring grief and sorrow to the peaceful, happy deanery. Oh, sir, I have done a little on my own account from time to time on the hill. Also, on commission for the kitchen.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, sir, you are an old gentleman. Turn a charitable heart to the races. It's a vicious institution what spends more ready money in St. Marvel's than us good people do in a year.
Get up, Blore, get up. Oh, Edward Blore, Edward Blore, what weak creatures we are.
Well, we are, sir, we are. Especially when we've got a tip, sir. Think of the temptation of a tip, sir.
I do, Blore, I do.
I confess everything, sir. Bonnie Betsy's bound for to win the handicap.
No, she isn't.
She is, sir.
I know better. She can never get down the hill with those legs of hers.
But she can, sir. What's to beat her?
The horse in my stable, Dandy Dick.
Dandy Dick? That old bit of mahogany, sir, they're laying 10 to 1 against him.
Are they? I'll take it. I'll take it.
Lord love you, sir. For how much?
50. There's the money. Oh.
Law, who'd have thought the Dean was such an ardent sportsman at heart? He doesn't give me any my notice after this. Of course, it's understood, sir, that we keeps our little weaknesses dark. Outwardly, sir, we remain respectable, and I hope respected. I wish you good night, sir. And that old man has been my pattern and example for years and years. Oh, Edward Blore, your hide is shattered. Good night, sir. May your dreams be calm and happy, and may you have a good run for your money.
I am upset tonight, Blore. Of course, you leave this day month. Blore, he's gone. I don't call him back. The spire may be richer tomorrow by £500. I won't dwell on it. I'll read. I'll read. Rain, thunder, how it assimilates with the tempest in my mind. I'll read. Bless me, this is very strange. The Horse and Its Ailments by John Cox, MRCVS. It is with this aid of this volume that I used to doctor my old mare at Oxford. A leaf turned down. Simple remedies for chills, the bolus. The helpless beast in my stable is suffering from a chill. Good gracious, if I allow Blore to risk my £50 on Dandy Dick, surely it would be advisable to administer this bolus to the poor animal without delay. I have these drugs in my chest. Oh, there's not a moment to be lost. I shall want help. I shall fetch my medicine chest.
Where is he? The bell rang. The Dean's puzzling me with his uncommon behaviour, that he is.
Blore, I feel it would be a humane act to administer to the poor ignorant animal in my stable a simple bolus as a precaution against chill. I rely upon your aid and discretion in ministering to any guest in the deanery.
I see, sir. You ain't going to lose half a chance for it tomorrow, sir. You're a knowing one, sir, as the saying goes.
Oh, yeah. Fetch these humble but necessary articles from the kitchen, quick. I'll mix the bolus here. Exactly 27 years since I last approached a horse medically. Well, I trust that this bolus will not give the animal an unfair advantage over his competitors. I don't desire that. I don't desire that.
His eyes?
Thank you.
His eyes is awful. I don't seem to know the happy deanery when I see such proceedings going on at the dead of night.
The old half-forgotten time returns to me. I'm once again a promising youth at college.
One would think by his looks that he was going to poison his family instead of... Poison? Poison? Oh, if anything serious happened to the animal in our stable, there would be nothing in the way of Bonnie Betsy, the deserving horse I've trusted with my hard-earned savings.
I am walking once again in the old streets of Oxford, avoiding the shops where I owe my youthful bills. Oh, bills.
Yeah, where's the stuff I got a month ago to destroy the whole black retriever that fell ill?
Bills.
The dog died. The poison's in my pantry. Couldn't have got used for cooking purposes.
I see the broad meadows and the tall spire of the college. Oh, the spire. Oh, my whole life seems made up of bills and spires.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Where are the drugs? Oh, the drugs. 3, 4, 5, 6. How fortunate some animals are. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's done.
Strychnine. I've cooked Dandy Dick. I've cooked Dandy Dick. I'm only a amateur sportsman, and I can't afford a uncertainty. Can I help you, sir?
No, remove these dreadful things and don't let me see you again tonight.
It's only a horse, sir. It's only an horse. But after tomorrow, I'll retire from the turf, if only to reclaim him.
I don't contemplate my humane task with resignation. The stable is small, and if the animal is restive, we shall be cramped for room. Oh, I shall get a chill, too. Oh, I'm sure Martin would lend me this gladly. I'll put on his coat. The animal may recognize the garment and receive me with kindly feeling. Oh, why do I feel this dreadful sinking of the heart? Oh, of all followers of the veterinary science, but as truly wretched as I am, what a noble band they must be.
All right. Yeah. Fire still burning. I shall doze here till daybreak. What a night! I never thought there was so much thunder in these poor country places.
Which is the nearer way to the stable? I must satisfy myself. I must.
Hello? Hush!
Stand where you are or I'll fire. Tris!
George!
Oh, Tris! I've been dreaming. Oh, don't look at me. I'm overtrained. I shall be on my legs again in a minute.
Oh, my goodness. George, well, whatever shall I do? Shall I trot you up and down outside?
Oh, be quiet. What are you fooling about here? Oh, my God, you lie quietly and you can't.
Oh, confound that cot. Why, it wouldn't hold my photograph. Where are you going?
Into the stable to sit with Dandy. The thunder's awful in my room. When it gets tired, it seems to sit down on my particular bit of roof. Oh, I did doze once, and then I had a frightful dream. I dreamt that Dandy had sold himself to a circus, and that they were hooting him because he'd lost his tail. There's an omen.
Don't! Be a man, George, be a man.
Oh, no, I'm dreadfully effeminate. There. Tid's himself again.
Bravo.
Oh, Tris, don't think me soft, old man. I'm a lonely, unlucky woman, and the tail end of this horse is all that's left me in the world to love and to cling to.
No, by Jove, I am not such a mean cur as that. Now, swap halves and take his head, George, my boy.
Not I. I'm like a doting mother to my share of Dandy, and it's all the dearer because it's an invalid. I'm off.
Come along. George, I never guessed you were so tender-hearted.
Well, I'm not.
And you've robbed me tonight of an old friend, a pal. I mean that I seem to have dropped the acquaintance of George Tidd, Esquire, forever.
Tris? No.
I have, but I got an introduction to his twin sister, Georgiana.
Oh, stay where you are. I'll nurse my half alone. Hush!
What's the matter?
Did you hear something?
Where?
There!
You're right. There's some people moving about the garden.
Tris, the horse!
No, they're not near the stables. They're coming in here. Hush, let's clear out and watch.
Oh, no ball after all.
Only we had a brother to avenge us.
I shall try and borrow a brother tomorrow.
Cold, wretched, splashed in debt for nothing.
To think that we've had all the inconvenience of being wicked and rebellious and have only half done it.
This comes of stooping to the military.
Serves us right. We've been trained for clergymen's wives. I hate Nugent Derby. I hope he may grow bald early.
General Tarver's nose is inclined to pink. May it deepen and deepen till it frightens cows.
Miss Jed! Sheba!
Pray to hear two wretched men, Miss Jed.
Here they are.
Shall we grant them a dignified interview?
Yes, curl your lip, Sheba.
You curl your lip better than I. I'll dilate my nostrils.
Oh, don't reproach us, Miss Jed. It isn't our fault that the military was summoned to St. Marvel's.
You don't blame officers and gentlemen for responding to the sacred call of duty.
We blame officers for subjecting two motherless girls to the shock of alighting at the Dunstan Athenaeum to find a notice on the front door, "Ball knocked on the head, vivat Regina."
We blame gentlemen for inflicting upon us the unspeakable agony of being jeered at by boys.
I took the address of the boy who suggested that we should call again on the 5th of November. It is on the back of your admission card.
Everything will be done. We shall both wait on the boy's mother for an explanation.
Oh, smile on us once again, Miss Jed. A forced hollow smile, if you will. Only smile. Salome.
Salome, Sheba,
Aunt,
you bad girls.
No, Aunt, no.
not bad, Aunt. Trustful and confiding.
Dare you encourage these two simple children to enjoy themselves? How dare you take them out without their aunt? Do you think I can't keep a thing quiet?
They didn't even ask Papa's permission.
Poor Papa.
Poor dear Papa.
I'm speaking to you, Field Marshal.
Madam, you are addressing an invalid.
We shall be happy to receive your representative in the morning. At present, we are on duty.
On heavy duty.
Guarding the ruins of the Swan Inn. You mustn't distract our attention.
Guarding the ruins of the Swan, are you? Tris? Sir Tristram? Tris, I'm a feeble woman, but I hope I've a keen sense of right and wrong. Run these outsiders into the road and let them guard their own ruins.
Oh,
No, spare him.
you shall not harm a hair of their heads.
What's that?
It will wake Papa.
Stop the bell.
Fly.
We've saved them.
Oh, Tris, you're mad from the stable.
Atom!
John,
Oh, Sir Tristram,
Yes, what is it?
the villain that set fire to the Swan, sir, in the act of administering a dose to the horse.
Nobbling our dandy?
Where is the scoundrel?
Topping the constable's column, sir. He's taken him in cart and locked up to be locked up.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, they've got the Dean.
And curtain. Sorry, everybody. I don't know how those pages got mixed up, but I panicked like crazy. I'm sorry. But anyway,
you want to talk about it, big fella? I'm a shrink.
we're back on track. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, all right, let's take, all right, let's start at 20:03.
Okay.
Meanwhile, David, I have some good programs I can recommend to you to deal with your script issues using evidence-based treatments. You guys think I'm joking. I wish I were.
Oh, dear.
God.
Yes, my field has descended into the pits.
Oh, for God's sake.
most of the world has.
It's lawyers. It's lawyers. You got to watch the lawyers. I was sitting in Norwich and we were writing up programs to how to do genetic engineering back in the early days, and working with the Agricultural Research Council. It was great. We had it all sorted out, and then the Pratts went and sent it to the lawyers, and back came these instructions that every time we went to the bathroom, we had to contact the Ministry of Agriculture to get an authorization to do it.
Oh no.
You're out your bloody mind. Oh, they're crazy.
You know, I don't know if it's the same over on your side of the pond, but here I'm getting afraid there's going to be no doctors soon because all the ones I know.
It is. It is. You're right. You're absolutely right. They're being driven out of the medical profession
They're
because
not
they
being
can't
paid.
do their work.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not being paid, and the paperwork,
Uh,
documentation requirements is shooting up, and so I see that anecdotally, and then I read in these little journals and emails that actual research is showing people are just dropping out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think there's a time coming when I'm not going to be able to find a doctor.
Well, I was horrified
Hitting the
to
age where I
see
need
that
them.
my
you'll have to
local,
become one.
yeah, yeah. But my local general practice, there's 4 of them in the area, and they've now been bought by an American private healthcare company.
Yes, I've heard of this. I think you told me last time we talked about this, and I've heard of it.
Well, there's one that owns about 300 in the northern part of the country, but now our little group of 4 have been. I mean, it's difficult to find out that they're American, but they are.
Hmm.
And
Not
the
surprised.
Well,
the NHS in one of the major hospitals that I deal with a lot has put in a new software package, and it's the Epic package, which comes out of Wisconsin. You know,
doctors are talking about that here, and it's automated and it's very user friendly, but at the same time, the requirements have shot up, so they've got to spend more time doing
no,
this.
it takes them twice as long. Yeah, because it asks for all these things. And the thing that worries me is the States is notorious for sharing data with people it shouldn't share it with. And if you've got a commercial organization providing the software, one of the ways they make money is selling off the data.
Yeah.
So suddenly everybody knows what you're doing. It's about 75% of the healthcare in the States is now entered into the Epic systems. It's only about 4% in this country, but it's expanding all the time. I mean, in a way, it's great because all the tests that are done on me in the local hospital appear on it, and I can download them. And my poor GPs, who in my general practice, who are, you know, they're cough and sneeze merchants.
Yeah.
If you want to get treated, you have to go to one of the hospitals. So they're being snowed under with all this data, and they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Hey, did you hear we got hacked?
Did you?
The systems here got hacked. There's a whole bunch of unprocessed claims. So sort of business sort of ground to a halt a little bit. By now it's probably resolved, but for a few days, maybe a week, a lot of things just stopped.
Yeah.
You couldn't get your test results. You couldn't get your claims paid. You know.
It's
I have a doctor who's doesn't take any insurance, and he doesn't charge me very much. But I like the security of having somebody I can actually call up and say, you know, this hurts.
A guy with a piece of paper and a pencil.
And an ear. I don't have to go through a maze of assistants and automated voicemail system. I can just call them and say, this hurts. What do you think? You know?
Yeah.
And he usually says, stop whining and leave me alone.
Yeah, that's right. My wife ended up with a dermatologist. She changed, the one she had was awful.
Oh, I didn't know you were having trouble, Angus. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, you meant
my wife. And she ended up with a dermatologist, and his reaction was, why are you taking that stuff? It's toxic. Are you in pain? No? Okay. Well, don't take it. And he said, unless, you know, she said, and he said at the end, he said, I don't want to see you again unless you have a problem. At the moment, you don't have a problem. Stop taking all that shit. It's worthless.
Why was she prescribed all that stuff?
Oh, she's got sarcoidosis, which flares up every so often with nodules. And he said, are you having it at the moment? And she said, no. He said, well, why are you taking that? All came up because an idiot rheumatologist and dermatologist put her on azathioprine, which is known, except not to them, to lead to squamous cell carcinomas. And she suddenly found after 10 years on this stuff at high level, she was getting little cancerous growths all over herself until she went to changed her dermatologist. And the guy said, "Oh, I see that. I recognize those." Everybody else said, "Oh, I've never seen those before." And he looked at them and said, "What other meds are you on?" She said, "Azathioprine." And he said, "Stop it immediately." And she's fine now.
Oh, thank
It's a
goodness.
really depressing story.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not the first time I've heard something like that. When I have anything serious, I get fourth, fifth, sixth opinions because of that.
Well,
I might be sitting here talking to you guys only because I went and got fourth, fifth, and sixth opinions when I had the vocal cord cancer. Because I know two people who had it, and they had such problems after that because they got overtreated. I found a guy who really delicate touch and managed to remove it without nicking the vocal cord. Didn't want me on chemo or radiation.
No.
It's hard to find that guy.
Yeah, well, especially when you've got a huge group on your health insurance whose sole goal is to either take the quick route or to deny you treatment.
Hmm.
And the quick route is usually the most hazardous route. But yeah, no,
my collarbone had an interesting experience. I busted my collarbone a few years ago. The first doctor was a young guy at Hospital for Special Surgery, and he very confidently and nicely said, "Yeah, surgery, gotta have surgery." So I got the second opinion from a guy in his 50s in a practice around the corner, and he said, he looked around, poked him in, said, "Well, I don't think you can make a wrong decision. You could try surgery, but based on what I'm seeing and the outcomes and blah blah blah, it might be just as better to leave it alone." Third guy I went to was 80 years old and was the NFL main collarbone guy for many years, and he said, "Nope, no surgery."
Yeah, I broke my collarbone because I got hit by a car.
Right.
And it's true what they say: when you fly, when something like that happens, the world slows down. I distinctly remember flying through the air, watching my glasses fly that way, watching my beef patty that I just bought fly that way, and my sandals fly that way, and thinking at the time, "Oh shit, this is gonna hurt." And then I landed. But they took me into the hospital and I said, "I've broken my collarbone." And he said, "Oh, I don't think so. I think it's just a strain." I said, "No, I've broken it." He said, "Well, we'll do an x-ray." And about half an hour later, he came back rather shamefacedly and said, "Yes, you have broken your collarbone." I mean, you can tell the difference between a sprain and a broken collarbone. I was just relieved because
Jesus, that's scary.
police got my wife and brought her to the hospital. And literally 10 seconds before she was brought into the room where I was lying on the bed, I tried to sit up. The ends of the bones grated together, and I went pale as a sheet. Because up until then, I was fine. There was no problem.
It didn't hurt when you did it?
Oh, it hit when I landed. Yeah, it hurt when I landed.
Yeah.
But
I remember, first of all, it hurt. And secondly, the sound of the break was really loud. I did it.
Broken collarbone's a real pain because all they give you is a sling and it hurts. And it's a real, I've broken a bone. And you don't get any sympathy if all you're doing is wandering around with your arm in this little khaki sling. You want something big that somebody can plaster, that people can write their name on and do drawings on. But no.
I think you could buy it on Amazon, Angus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could try that.
So the bones never knitted. So I have 3 collarbones, 1, 2, 3. And the doctor, the head collarbone quack in the country, is looking at my pictures after 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and he says, "Well, the bone's not knitting as we expect." And I said, "Oh, what does that mean?" And he goes, "I don't know."
Let me interrupt. We got a third act to do, and it's time. So
okay, let's do a third act.
I'm off screen here.
Okay, the third act, or the first scene of the third act, is the interior of a country police station. Quaint old room with plaster walls, oaken beams, and a Gothic mullioned window looking out onto the street. A massive door with a small sliding wicket and an iron grating opens to a prisoner's cell. The room is partly furnished as a kitchen, partly as a police station. a copy of the police regulations and other official documents and implements hanging on the wall. It is the morning after the events of the previous act.
Noah, darling,
Yes.
you'll have your dinner before you drag your prisoner over to Durnston, won't you, darling?
Yes.
Yes. Noah's in a nice temper today over Summit. Oh, well, I suppose all public characters is liable to irritation. Well, I never. Mr. Bloor from the Dairy. You might knock me down with a feather.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Topping?
Oh, it's a dear Dean, bless him. The sweetest soul in the world.
Good gracious. She doesn't know of her misfortune. I haven't seen him this morning.
This is real kind of you, calling on an old friend, Edward. And I think that I were cook at the deanery 7 years, and that since I left you to get wedded, not a soul of you have been nigh me. It do seem odd.
Well, you see, Anna, the kitchen took umbrage at your marrying the policeman at Durnston. It was regarded as a mésalliance.
Oh, now Mr. Toppin's got the appointment of head constable at St. Marvel's. What's that regarded as?
Oh, a rise on the scales, Anna, a decided rise. But still, you've only been a week in St. Marvel's, and you've got to fight your way up.
I think I'm as up as ever I'm like to be.
Oh, however, Jane and Sarah and Willis, the stable boy, have unbent so far as to ask me to leave their cards, knowing I was a calling.
Thank 'em kindly. When's their evening?
We receives on Tuesdays at the side gate. And how are you, my dear?
Don't, Edward Bloor.
Don't? When you was Miss Heavens, there wasn't these social barriers, Anna?
Shut up. Noah's jealous of the very apron strings what go round my waist. I'm not so free and handy with my kisses now, I can tell you.
Then what is friendship but a name? But Mr. Topping ain't indoors now, surely.
Uh-huh.
Why, he took a man up last night.
What of it?
Well, I thought that when any arrest was made in St. Marvel's, the prisoner was lodged here only for the night, and that the head constable had to drive him over to Durnston police station first thing in the morning.
It's a rule, but Noah's behind-handed today and ain't going into Durnston till after dinner.
Then the prisoner is now on the premises.
Yes, he's in our cell.
And where is the apartment in question?
The cell? Well, that's it.
Oh,
The strong box, they call it in St. Marvel's.
oh my goodness! Holy, only fancy! And him accustomed to his shaving water at 8, and my kindly hand to button his gaiters. Oh, there's a warning.
Whatever's the matter with you, Edward?
Anna, my dear, it's this very prisoner what I've called on you respecting.
Oh, then the honour ain't a compliment to me after all, Mr. Bloor.
I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, my dear.
You can take him back to the deanery with Mrs. Toppin's cops.
I will leave them on you again tomorrow. But Hannah, dearie, do you know that this unfortunate man was took in our stables last night?
No, I never asked Noah about nothing about Queen's business. He don't want 2 women over him.
Then you ain't seen the miserable culprit?
Lord, no. I was in bed hours when Noah brought him home. I take no interest in it at all. They tell us it's only a wretched poacher or a petty larceny, but getting Marvels. My poor Noah ain't never likely to have a chance of a horrid murder in a place what returns a conservative. Oh, my joints burning.
Yeah, but Hannah, suppose this case you've got hold of now is a case what will shake old England to its bases. Supposing it means columns in the paper with Toppin's name a figuring. Suppose as family reading it hold its own with divorce cases.
Hello. You know something about this arrest, you do.
Oh, no, I don't. I merely said, suppose. I merely wish to encourage you, Anna, to implant an hope that crime may brighten your wedded life.
The man was found trespassing in the deanery stables with intent, refuses to give his name or any account of himself.
If I could only find out whether Dandy Dick had any of the medicine, it would so guide me at the races. Oh, what am I to do? Doesn't appear that the horse is in the stables. Took it, does it?
Took what?
Took fright. You're sure there's no confession of any sort, Anna dear?
Anna!
Oh, don't. This is Mr. Blore from the deanery come to see us. An old friend of mine.
A friend of hern is a friend of mine.
I hope so, Mr. Toppin. I thank you.
Oh, she getting me a lot of nice new friends this week since we come to St. Marvel's.
Oh, of course. Anna dear was a loving favourite of everybody.
Aye, well, then as her friends be mine, I'm taking the liberty, one by one, of gradually dropping them all on them all.
Dear me.
And if I catch anyone fly a buzzing round my lady, I'll venture to break his head in with my staff.
Oh, Noah.
I merely called to know if anything had been found out about the ruffian took in our stables last night.
Is that your business?
It's my master's business.
He's the dean, ain't he?
Yes, Noah, of course.
Shut up, darling. Very well then. Give Mr. Toppin's respects to the dean and say I'll run up to the deanery and see him after I've took my man over to Durnston.
Oh, thank you. I hope the dean will be at home. Good day, Anna. Good day, Mr. Toppin.
Noah. I don't believe as we shall ever get a large circle of friends round us.
Now then, them'll do. Anna?
Yes, Nori.
Brighten up, my darling. The little time you are with me at home with you.
Yes, Nori.
I'm just going round to the stable to put old Nick in the car.
Oh, don't trust in Nick, Noah, dear. He's such a vicious brute. Kitty's safer in the cart.
Shut up, darling. Nick can take me on the edge of the hill in half the time.
The hill?
Ah, what do you think I put off taking my men to Durnston now for? Why, I'm a-going to get a glimpse of the racing on my way over. There he is, sulky. Open the oven door, Anna, and let the smell of the cooking get into him.
No, it's torture.
Do as I tell ye. Torture. Of course it's torture. That's my rule. Whenever I get a hold of a darned obstinate creature what won't reveal his identity, I opens the oven door.
Not me. Torturing prisoners might have done for their middling ages when Noah's always clattering about, but not for my time of life. I'll shut that wicket.
Oh,
Oh, no, not my old master. Never the master. Master? Look at me. It's Anna, your faithful servant, Anna.
Hannah Evans.
It's Anna Topping, nee Evans, wife of the constable. What's going to take you to cruel Durnston? Oh, Mr. Dean, sir, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? What have you been up to?
Woman, I'm the victim of a misfortune only partially merited.
Tell me what you've done, master dear. Give it a name, for the love of goodness.
My poor Hannah, I fear I have placed myself in an equivocal position. No, be quiet, woman.
Is it a change of cooking that's brought you to such ways? I cooked for you for 7 happy years.
Alas, I seem to have lost none of your culinary skill.
Still, are you hungry?
I am sorely tried by your domestic preparations.
No account with that brute of a horse to under 10 minutes. The duplicate key. Yikes. 1 second. 1 second, I lost my... I lost it completely. The duplicate key of the strong box. Master, you'll give me your patrol not to cut, won't you?
Under any other circumstances, Hannah, I should resent that insinuation.
Don't resent nothing. Shove. Shove your hardest, Dean, dear.
Good day, Hannah. You have bettered yourself, I hope.
Oh, master, master.
Hannah, Mrs. Topping.
I know, but crime levels all, dear sir.
You appear to misapprehend the precise degree of criminality which attaches to me. Mrs. Topping, in the eyes of that majestic but imperfect instrument, the law, I am an innocent, if not an injured man.
Oh, stick to that, sir. Stick to it if you think it's likely to serve your wicked ends.
My good woman, a single word from me to those at the deanery would instantly restore me to home, family, and accustomed diet.
Oh, they all tell that tale what comes here. Why don't you send word, Dean dear?
Because it would involve revelations of my temporary moral aberration.
Oh.
No, because I should return to the deanery with my dignity, that priceless possession of a man's middle age, with my dignity seriously impaired.
Don't, sir, don't.
How could I face my simple children who have hitherto not unreasonably regarded me as faultless? How could I again walk erect in the streets of St. Marvel's with my name blazoned on the records of a police station of the very humblest description?
Sir, it's a treat to hear you compared with the ordinary criminal class. But, master dear, though I know I don't recognise you, there has been a stranger at the Marvels. How will you fare when you get to Dunstan?
I have one great buoyant hope, that a word in the ear of the Dunstan superintendent will send me forth an unquestioned man. You and he will be the sole keepers of my precious secret. May its possession be a lasting comfort to you both.
Master, is what you've told me your only chance of getting off unknown?
It is the sole remaining chance of averting a calamity of almost national importance.
Then you're as done as that joint in my oven.
Woman!
The superintendent at Durnston, John Ruggles. Also the 2 inspectors, Whittaker and Parker.
Well?
Them and their wives and families are chapel folk.
No!
Yes. Master? Listen.
It's all over. It's all over.
No, listen. I was well fed and kept 7 years at the deanery, having went to know a top in 8 weeks. That's 6 years and 10 months love and duty due to you and yours before I owe nothing to my darling Noah. Master dear, you shan't be took to Durnston.
Silence! Hannah Topping, formerly Evans, it is my duty to inform you that your reasoning does more credit to your heart than to your head.
Can't doubt that. The devil's always in a woman's heart because it's the warmest place to get to. Here, take that. When you once get free from my darling Noah, that key unlocks your handcuffs.
Handcuffs?
How are you to get free? That's the question, isn't it? I'll tell you. My Noah drives you over to Durnston with old Nick.
Old Nick?
That's the horse. Now, Nick was formerly in the Durnston Fire Brigade, and when he hears the familiar signal of a double whistle, you can't hold him in. That's the whistle. Directly you turn into Pear Tree Lane, blow once, and you'll see Noah with his nose in the air, pulling fit to wrench his hands off. Jump out, roll clear of the wheel, keep cool and hopeful, and blow again. Before you can get the mud out of your eyes, Noah and the horse and cart will be well into Durnston. May Providence restore a young husband safe to his doting wife.
Hannah, how dare you? Is this the fruit of your 7 years' constant cookery at the deanery?
Dear, I wouldn't have done it. Only it is your first offence.
My first offence, oh.
You're not too old. I want to give you another start in life.
Another start? Woman, do you think I have no conscience? Do you think I don't realize the enormity of the difficulties of alighting from a vehicle in rapid motion?
Zanga, what makes you feel so conscientious?
I have done with you.
With me, sir. Not with the joint. You'll feel wickeder when you've had a little nourishment. That's right, Dean dear. Taste my darling Noah's favourite dish.
Oh, Hannah Topping, Hannah Topping. I'll have no more woman cooks in the deanery. This reads me a lesson.
Don't stint yourself, sir. You can't blow that whistle on an empty frame. Don't my cooking carry you back, sir? Oh, say it do.
Oh, if every mouthful would carry me back 1 little hour, I would finish this joint.
My man of mystery, awaited on by my newly made wife, a heating of my favorite meal.
If my mind were calmer, this would be an all-sufficient repast. Hannah, a little plain cold water in a simple tumbler, please.
Anna, introduce me.
Am I to gather, Constable, from your respective attitudes that you object to these little kindnesses extended to me by your worthy wife?
I'm wishing to know the name of my worthy wife's friend. A friend of hern is a friend of mine.
Nori, Nori.
She's getting me a lot of nice new friends since we come to St. Marvel's.
Nori, I made this gentleman's acquaintance through the wicket in a casual way.
Aye, hooks and railings. I might have guessed my wedded life would come to this.
He spoke to me just as a strange gentleman ought to speak to a lady. Didn't you, sir? Didn't you?
Hannah, do not let us even under these circumstances prevaricate. Such is not quite the case.
No, this is neither the time nor place. Oh, with people at the door and dinner on the table to spill a strange man's blood.
I trust that your self-respect as an officer of the law will avert anything so unseemly.
Aye, that's it. You've touched me on my point of pride. There ain't another police station in all Durnston conducted more strict and rigid nor what mine is, and it shall so continue. You and me is a-going to set out for Durnston, and when the charges now standing against you is entered in it, Noah Toppin will have had another.
Noah.
The charge of alienating the affections of my wife, Anna.
Oh, no.
Aye, and worse, the embezzling of my midday meal prepared by her hands. Go in. You have 5 minutes more in the home you have ruined and laid waste.
You will at least receive my earnest assurance that this worthy woman is extremely innocent.
Innocent? Look there.
Well,
Unlock that door.
Oh, Lowry, you'll never be popular in St. Marvel's.
Unlock that door.
Dear me, is this the police station?
Lady, take a chair near the fire. Sit down, sir.
This is my first visit to a police station, my good woman. I hope it will be the last.
Oh, don't say that, ma'am. We're only auxiliary, ma'am. The bench sets at Durnston.
I must say, you try to make everybody feel at home.
It's beautifully Arcadian.
Perhaps this is only a police station for the young.
No, ma'am. We take ladies and gentlemen like yourselves.
Anna, introduce me.
Good gracious, what's that? Oh, good morning.
Anna's getting me a lot of nice new friends this week since we come to St. Marvel's.
No, the lady and gentleman is strange.
Oh,
Are you the man in charge here?
aye. Are you seeing me on business or pleasure?
Do you imagine people come here to see you?
No, they generally come to see my wife. However, if it's business, that's the official side. This is domestic. You'll all kindly move over there.
Yes, certainly. Now look here, my man. This lady is Mrs. Tidman. Mrs. Tidman is the sister of Dean Dr. Jedd, the Dean of St. Marvel's.
Oh, there's something wrong with your wife.
Ah, she's profligate. Proceedings are pending.
Strange police station. The flesh creeps. Sorry.
Very strange police station. My flesh creeps too.
Yes, mine does too. Yes. Well, my good man, to come to the point, my poor friend and this lady's brother, Dr. Jedd, the dean, you know, has mysteriously and unaccountably disappeared.
Vanished.
Gone.
Absconded.
Absconded? How dare you?
Oh, respectable man, was he?
What do you mean?
This lady is his sister.
Now look here. It's no good of getting hasty and irritable with the law. I've come over to you officially. I'll come over to you officially.
Don't bring that horrible odor of cooking over here.
Take it away. What is it?
Oh, it's evidence against my profligate wife.
Do you realize that my poor brother, the dean, is missing?
Ah, touching this missing dean.
I left him last night to retire to rest.
And this morning he's not to be found.
Ah, has it struck you to look in his bed?
Of course.
Everybody did that.
One would have done. It's only confusing. All doing it. Money matters, right or wrong.
Do put your questions more feelingly. This is his sister. I am his friend.
You will push yourselves forward. Had he anything on his mind?
Yes?
Then I've got a theory.
What is it?
What is it?
A theory that will put you all out of suspense.
Yes, yes.
I've been a good bit about. I read a deal, and I'm a shrewd, experienced man. I should say this is nothing but a ordinary case of suicide.
Get out of the way, Georgiana.
Oh, Tris. If this were true, how could we break it to the girls?
Oh, I could run up during the evening and break it to the girls.
Now look here. All you've got to do is hold your tongue and take down my description of the dean and report his disappearance at Durnston. And missing. The very Reverend Augustin Jedd, Dean of St. Marvel's. Poor Gus. Poor Gus.
Lady.
Eh?
Hush. Listen to me.
Now, have you got all that?
I am spelling it my own way.
Oh, dear old Gus. Description.
Oh, no.
Description.
I suppose he was just a ordinary sort of looking man.
No. Description.
Description. A little short, thin man with black hair and a squint.
No, he isn't.
Oh, yes, he is.
Georgiana, what are you talking about?
I'm Gus's sister. I ought to know what he looks like.
Good heavens, Georgiana, your mind is not going.
In there.
Eh?
Gus is the villain found dosing Dandy Dick last night.
Oh. What have you written?
I've written answers to the name of Gus.
It's not wanted. I've altered my mind. I'm too busy to bother about him this week.
What? After wasting my time.
Look here. You're the constable who took the man in the deanery stables last night?
Hi, there's my car outside ready to take the scoundrel over to Durnston.
I should like to see him.
You can view him passing out.
Oh, Gus.
I warned you, he's an awful-looking creature.
I can stand it. I love horrors. Tris?
Georgiana.
Oh, what was my brother's motive in bolusing Dandy last night?
I can't think. Now, the first thing to do is to get him out of this hole. This good woman has arranged for his escape.
But we can't trust to Gus rolling out of a flying dog cart. Why, it's as much as I could do.
Oh, yes, lady, he'll do it. I provided for everything. Don't betray him to Noah. There's an awful charge hanging over his head.
Another charge?
Another? Oh, Tris, to think my own stock should run vicious like this.
Hush, lady.
Oh.
Hope you get.
No, stay. I am the owner of the horse stable at the deanery. I make no charge against this wretched person. Oh, man.
Yes. Oh.
Tarpa 107.
No. I was discovered administering to a suffering beast a simple remedy for chills. I am an unfortunate creature. Do with me what you will.
The analysis hasn't come home from the chemists yet. Is this the truth?
Yes.
Release this man.
Release him? He was found trespassing in the stables of the late Dean, who was committed suicide.
Oh,
The deceased Dean is the only man who can withdraw one charge.
Listen.
And I'm the only man who can withdraw the other.
You, get out.
Out.
I charged this person unknown with alienating the affections of my wife while I was putting my horse to, and I'm going to drive him over to Durnston with the evidence.
Oh, lady, it's appearances what's against us.
Whoa, steady there. Get back.
I am disappointed in you, Augustine. Have you got this wretched woman's whistle?
Yes.
Oh, Jed, and these are what you call principles? Have you got the keys of your handcuffs?
Yes.
Time's up. Come on.
May I say a few parting words in the home I have apparently wrecked?
Say 'em and they're done.
In setting out upon a journey, the termination of which is problematical, I desire to attest that this erring constable is the husband of a wife from whom it is impossible to withhold respect, if not admiration.
You hear him?
As for my wretched self, the confession of my weaknesses must be reserved for another time, another place. To you, whose privilege is to shelter in the sanctity of the deanery, I give this earnest admonition. Within an hour from this terrible moment, let the fire be lighted in the drawing room. Let the missing man's warm bath be waiting for its master, a change of linen prepared. Withhold your judgments. Wait.
This is none of your business. Come on.
I am ready.
Oh, what am I to think of my brother?
Think? that he's the beautifulest, sweetest man in all Durnshire.
Woman,
It's I and my whistle and Nip the fire brigade horse, what will bring him back to the deanery safe and unharmed. Not a soul but we three will ever know of his misfortune. Hark, they're off.
Get up now, get up, old girl.
Oh,
done for?
For
Dean can whistle himself blue. Now he's put Kitty in the cart and left old Nick at home.
And curtain. The second scene is the morning room at the deanery.
Poor Papa.
Poor dear Papa.
He must return very soon. He must.
You must. In the meantime, it is such a comfort to feel that we have no cause for self-reproach.
Anxiety is terribly wearing.
Nothing is so weakening, Salome.
Sheba, dear.
If I should pine and ultimately die of this suspense, I want you to have my workbox.
Thank you, dear. But if Papa's not home for afternoon tea, you will outlive me.
Miss Jed, Miss Jed.
Sheba, here are Gerald Tarver and Mr. Darby.
Oh, the presumption! Open the window. Dare them to enter.
Thank you. Don't be shocked when you see Mr. Tar.
Pardon this informal method of presenting ourselves.
You do well, gentlemen, to intrude upon two feeble women at a moment of sorrow.
One step further, and I shall ask Major Tarver, who is nearest the bell, to ring for help.
There now, the fact is, Miss Jed, that Tarver is in exceedingly critical condition. Feeling that he has incurred your displeasure, he has failed even in the struggle to gain the racecourse. I have taken him to Dr. Middleston, and I explained that Major Tarver loved with a passion, second only to my own.
Oh, we cannot listen to you, Mr. Darby.
Go on, sir.
The doctor made a searching examination of the Major's tongue and diagnosed that unless the Major at once proposed to the lady in question and was accepted, 3 weeks or a month at the outside would be absolutely imperative. Shall I continue?
Oh, certainly, I'm helpless.
We are curious to see what lengths you will go.
Oh, the pitiable condition of my poor friend speaks for itself.
I beg your pardon. It does nothing of the kind.
Salome, I have loved you distractedly for upwards of 8 weeks.
Oh, Major Tarver, let me pass. Let me pass, I say.
Lest you push me, never.
Spare me this scene, Mr. Darby.
To a man in my condition, love is either a rapid and fatal malady, or it is an admirable digestive. Accept me, and my merry laugh once more rings through the mess room. Reject me, and my collection of vocal music, loose and in volumes, will be brought to the hammer, and the bird, as it were, will trill no more.
And is it really I who would hush the little throaty songster?
Certainly. I have the doctor's certificate in that effect.
Oh, Mr. Darby, I have never thought of marriage seriously.
People never do till they are married.
But only think of my age.
Pardon me, Sheba, but what is your age?
Oh, it is so very little, it is not worth mentioning. Cannot we remain friends and occasionally correspond?
Well, of course, if you insist.
No. I see that as impracticable. It must be wed or part. All I ask is time. Time to ponder over such a question. Time to know myself better.
Certainly. How long?
Give me 2 or 3 minutes. Hush.
Oh, I never thought I should live to be accepted by anyone. Oh, I shall buy some gay songs. When can I see the Dean?
Oh, don't.
Salome?
Papa has been out all night.
All night?
Isn't it terrible? Oh, what do you think of it, Mr. Darby?
Well, shocking, but we oughtn't to condemn him unheard.
Condemn my papa.
Here's Aunt Georgiana.
Oh, look out, Tarver.
Come this way and let us take cuttings in the conservatory.
Mr. Darby, wait for me. I have decided. Yes!
Pop it down.
Oh, that I will, ma'am, and gladly.
Oh, where am I now?
Hurrah! Cheer, man, cheer.
Hurrah!
We can't shout here. Now go and cheer as loud as you can to the roadway by yourself.
Yes, sir.
Georgiana, Marden,
How are you, Jed, old boy?
How do you feel now, Gus?
torn to fragments.
So you are. Thank heavens he's conscious.
I feel as if I had been walked over carefully by a large concourse of the lower orders.
So you have been. Thank heaven his memory's all right.
Oh, that's Hatcham. I'll raise his wages.
Do I understand that I have been forcibly and illegally rescued?
That's it, old fellow.
Who has committed such a reprehensible act?
A woman who would have been a heroine in any age. Georgiana.
Georgiana, I'm bound to overlook it in a relative, but never let this occur again.
Tell him.
You found out that other woman's plan went lame, didn't you?
I discovered its inefficacy after a prolonged period of ineffectual whistling. Oh.
But we ascertained the road the genial constable was going to follow. He was bound for the edge of the hill up Pear Tree Lane to watch the races. Directly we knew this, Tress and I made for the hill. Bless your soul, there were hundreds of my old friends there. Welshers, pickpockets, card sharpers, all the lowest racecourse cads in the kingdom. In a minute, I was in the middle of them, as much at home as a duchess in a drawing room.
Queen in a palace.
Boadicea among the druids. Do you know me? I hollowed out. Instantly, there was a cry of, if it ain't George Tidd. Tears of real joy sprang to my eyes, and while I was waving them away, Tris had his pockets emptied, and I lost my watch.
Jed, it was a glorious moment.
Tris made it back, and I stood on it, supported by a correct card merchant on either side. Dear friends, I said, brothers, I am with you once again. Oh, you should have heard the shouts of honest welcome. Before I could obtain silence, my field glasses had gone on their long journey. Listen to me, I said. A very dear relative of mine has been collared for playing the 3-card trick on his way down from town. Oh, there was a groan of sympathy. He'll be on the brow of the hill with a bobby in half an hour, said I. Who's for the rescue? A dead, deep silence followed, broken only by the sweet voice of a young child saying, what'll we get for it? £1 apiece, said I. There was a roar of assent, and my concluding words, and possibly 6 months, were never heard. At that moment, Tris back could stand it no longer, and we came heavily to the ground together. Now you know whose hands have led you back to your own manger. Confess, isn't there something good and noble in true English sport after all?
Every abused institution has its redeeming characteristic. But whence is the money to come to reward these dreadful persons? I cannot reasonably ask my girls to organize a bazaar or concert.
Concert? I am a rich woman.
Rich?
Well, I've cleared 1,500 over the handicap.
No. Then the horse who enjoyed the shelter of the deanery last night?
Dandy
Dick!
in a common canter. All the rest, nowhere. And Bonnie Betsy walked in with the policeman.
500.
£500 towards the spire, 500. Oh, where is Blore with the good news?
Look at him, lively as a cricket.
Sir Tristram, I am under the impression that your horse swallowed reluctantly a small portion of that bolus last night before I was surprised and removed.
By the by, I'm expecting the analysis of that concoction every minute.
Spare yourself the trouble. The secret is with me. I seek no acknowledgement from either of you, but in your moment of deplorable triumph, remember with gratitude the little volume of The Horse and Its Ailments and the prosaic name of its humane author, John Cox.
But, oh, Tris Marden, what can I ever say to you?
Anything you like, except thank you.
Don't stop me. Ah, why, you were the man who hauled Augustin out of the cart by his legs.
Oh, why mention such trifles?
They're not trifles. And when his cap fell off, it was you, brave fellow that you are, who pulled the horse's nosebag over my brother's head so that he shouldn't be recognized.
My dear Georgiana, these are the common courtesies of everyday life.
They are acts with which any true woman would esteem. Oh, Gus won't readily forget the critical moment when all the cut chaff ran down the back of his neck. Nor shall I.
Nor shall I forget the way in which you gave Dandy his whiskey out of a soda water bottle just before the race.
That's nothing. Any lady would do the same.
Nothing? You look like Florence Nightingale in the paddock. Oh, Georgiana. Oh, Hannah. Why won't you marry me?
Why?
Why?
Why? Because you've only just asked me, Tris.
But when I touched your hand last night, you reared.
Yes, Tris, old man. But love is founded on mutual esteem. Last night you hadn't put my brother's head in that nose bag.
How annoying. There's Aunt and Sir Tristram in this room, Salome and Major Tarworth sitting on the hot pipes in the conservatory. Where am I and Mr. Darby to go? Papa, come back!
Home. Ah, what sonorous music it is to the word. Home with the secret of my sad misfortune buried in the bosoms of the faithful few. Home with my family influence intact. Home with the scepter of my dignity still tight in my grasp. What is this I have picked up on the stairs?
Beg pardon, Sir Tristram?
What is it?
The chemist has just brought his analysis.
Well, where is he?
Too horrible. Dr. Lewis Isaacs, costumier to the Queen, Bow Street, total £40.19. There was a fancy masked ball at Durnston last night. Salome, Sheba. No.
Papa!
Papa! Papa!
Papsy!
Our parents returned.
Papsy, come back!
Stop.
Papa, why have you tortured us with anxiety?
What have you been, you naughty man?
Before I answer a question which, from a child to its parent, partakes of the unpardonable vice of curiosity, I demand an explanation of this disreputable document. Debtor to Lewis Isaacs, costumier to the Queen. I will not follow this legend in all its revolting intricacies. Suffice it, its moral is inculcated by the mournful total £40.19. Imps of deceit. There was a ball at Durnston last night. I know it.
Spare us.
Couldn't have been there, Papa.
There. I trust I was better, that is, otherwise employed. Which of my hitherto trusted daughters was a lady? No, I will say a person of the period of the French Revolution. And a flower girl of an unknown epoch. To your respective rooms. Let your blinds be drawn. At 7, porridge will be brought to you.
Papa!
Go.
Papsy!
Go.
Papa, we, poor girls as we are, can pay the bill.
Cannot go.
Through the kindness of our aunt.
We have won £50.
What?
At the races?
You two drawn into the vortex. Is there no conscience that is clear? Is there no guilelessness left in this house, with the possible exception of my own?
We always knew a little more than you gave us credit for, Papa.
Take this potted thing, never let it meet my eyes again. As for the scandalous costumes, they shall be raffled for in aid of local charities. Confidence, that precious pearl of the snug shell of domesticity, is at an end between us. I chastise you both by permanently withholding from you the reason of my absence from home last night. Go.
Good heavens. Jed, the analysis has arrived.
I'm absolutely indifferent.
Indifferent.
Indifferent?
How dare you confront me without even the semblance of a blush? You who have enabled my innocent babies for the first time in their lives to discharge one of their own accounts.
There isn't a blush in our family. If there were, you'd want it.
Jed, you were once my friend, and you are to be my relative.
My sister. I offer no opposition.
But not even our approaching family tie prevents my designating you as one of the most atrocious conspirators known to the history of the turf.
Conspirator?
As the owner of one half of Dandy Dick, I denounce you.
As the owner of the other half, I denounce you.
You?
A chief ingredient of your infernal preparation is known.
It's nothing that I would not cheerfully administer to my own children.
Oh,
I believe you. Strychnine, 16 grains.
Oh!
Strychnine? Summon my devoted servant Blore, in whose presence the innocuous mixture was compounded. This analysis is simply the pardonable result of over-enthusiasm on the part of our local chemist.
you're a disgrace to the pretty little police station where you slept last night.
I will prove that in the deanery stables, the common laws of hospitality have never been transgressed. Give me the bowl. A simple remedy for a chill.
Strychnine,
16 grains.
grains.
I myself was am suffering from the exposure of last night. Observe me.
No, don't. Don't.
No.
Blore.
Where's Blore?
Can't find a good servant
Oh,
when...
he's right here. No, don't. You wouldn't hang the oldest servant in the deanery.
Blore.
I did it. I had an honest fancy for Bonnie Betsy, and I wanted this gentleman's horse out of the way. And while you was mixing the doughs with the best ecclesiastical intentions, I introduced a foreign element.
Viper.
Oh, sir, it was all for the sake of the Dean.
The Dean?
Well, the dear Dean had only £50 to spare for sporting purposes, and I thought a gentleman of his high standing ought to have a certainty.
Jed?
Augustine?
Oh, I can conceal it no longer. I instructed this unworthy creature to back Dandy Dick on behalf of the Restoration Fund.
You didn't do it?
No.
Why not? In the name of that tottering spire, why not?
Oh, sir, thinking as you'd given some of the mixture to Dandy, I put your cheerful little offering onto Bonnie Betsy.
Oh, I could have pardoned everything, but this last act of disobedience, you are unworthy of the deanery. Leave it for some ordinary household.
If I leaves the deanery, I shall give my reasons. And then what'll folks think of you and me in our old age?
You wouldn't spread this tale at St. Marvel's?
Well, not if sober, sir. But suppose grief drove me to me cups.
I must save you from intemperance at any cost. remain in my service, a sad, sober, and above all, a silent man.
Papa,
To your rooms, I'm distracted.
Major Tarver and Mr. Darby.
You have sufficiently merged all sense of moral rectitude as to declare that I am not at home. Do so.
No, no, Papa. We have accidentally discovered that you, our parent, have stooped to deception, if not to crime.
Oh!
We are still young. The sooner, therefore, we are removed from any unfortunate influence, the better.
We have an opportunity of beginning life afresh.
These two gallant gentlemen have proposed for us.
Then I am at home. Where are they?
Is this here the deanery?
Rory, Noah, come back.
There's been a man rescued from my lawful custody while my face was unofficially held downwards in the mud. The villain has been traced back to the deanery.
Go away.
Come away.
The man was an unknown lover of my newly made wife.
You mustn't bring your domestic affairs here. This is a subject for your own fireside of an evening.
Come in, Major Tarver. Come in, Mr. Darby.
That's his voice. My man.
No, Rory.
You're speaking to Dr. Jed, the Dean of St. Marvel's.
I'm speaking to the man I took last night, the culprit as alienated the affections of my wife.
Look, wait one moment.
Do not let us chide a man who is conscientious even in error. I think I see Hannah Evans, once an excellent cook under this very roof.
I'm Mrs. Topping now, sir, bride of the constable. And oh, do forgive him. He is a mass of ignorance.
Come away.
Atkin, is that the man that you and the constable secured in the stable last night?
That, sir? Bless your heart, sir, that's the Dean himself.
That'll do.
Why, our man is a short, thin individual.
I trust you are perfectly satisfied.
I'm done.
Don't trouble further. I withdraw unreservedly any charge against this unknown person found on my premises last night. I attribute to him the most innocent intentions. Hannah, you and your worthy husband will stay and dine in my kitchen. Good afternoon.
Is it a hot dinner?
Hot, with ale.
Now then, you know a real gentleman when you see one. Why don't he thank the Dean warmly?
Thank you, sir.
Oh, go. I take a kindly interest in you both.
Well, Gus, you're out of all your troubles. Are you happy?
Happy. My family influence gone forever. My dignity crushed out of all recognition. The genial summer of the deanery frosted by the winter of deceit.
Ah, Gus, when once you lay the whip about the withers of the horse called deception, he takes the bit between his teeth, and only the devil can stop him, and he'd rather not. Shall I tell you who's been riding the horse hardest?
Who?
The Dean.
Georgiana, I'm surprised at you.
Look here, Augustine. George Tidd will lend you that 1,000 for the poor innocent old spire.
Oh, Georgiana.
On one condition, that you'll admit there's no harm in our laughing at a sporting dean.
No, I cannot allow it.
Tris, my brother Gus doesn't want us to be merry at his expense.
I forbid it. Hush.
Why, Jed, there's no harm in laughter for those who laugh or those who are laughed at.
Provided always, firstly, that it is folly that is laughed at and not virtue, and secondly, that it is our friends who laugh at us, as we hope they all will for our pains.
And curtain. Do turn off the recording, please.
Oh, awful.
We should
Not
have,
awful. Oh, the mustache.
we should have our Now that we've had a rehearsal, we should do the reading. Oh, well. That's
Now
the
that
way-
we had a table read.
It was fun, nevertheless.
Where's
Yeah.
Angus?
Yeah, it's a delicious play.
Did you say that this
So
was?
cute.
Did
It's
you
so
say they made this into a film or no?
I'm sorry.
Did you say they made this into a film or no?
There is a film, yes. It's not as good as the play, I don't think. I'd have to look it up to find out. It's in one of my books, I think. But there is a film, yes.
There is. Okay.
I
I
think-
think retire this
I
mustache.
think Will Hay stars in it. I'm not positive. Angus, do you know? Are you there?
Did Angus leave?
I don't.
Well, he's still
Angus
online.
just peaced out. He was like, I'm done.
Peace out.
Hardly blame him.
And Kate, where's Kate?
Angus, are you around?
I'm here.
Hey, Kate.
I was actually just checking. There were two different versions of it in the film. There's a 1948 TV movie and a 1935, which is the one David was thinking of with Will Hay.
The
Yeah.
48 TV version, was that made in England or here?
Looks like England.
Oh, yeah, should be England, sure. Well, there you are.
Why would
Very
anybody?
Yeah.
good.
Angus, I mean, we were just talking about the film of this, I think was with Will Hay, wasn't it? Do you remember?
I honestly don't remember. I
I have it
vaguely
in my
know about
collection
this.
somewhere, but I think
This is
yeah.
not one, you know.
I know he did the one for the magistrate, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was called something like The Good Old Days. It wasn't called The Magistrate.
Yeah.
But
But I must admit, Mr. Wing Pinero shows the typical upper class vague grasp of vernacular. He knows the theory of it, but he doesn't really get it. So I found it extremely difficult to deal with because it was so uneven in the way he dealt with added H's and aspirated H's.
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
had no idea where we were. Just like
It was gone.
Yeah.
Many years ago, when I was doing my finals at uni, the theatre company I worked for in Edinburgh, I couldn't do a show they wanted. And the director said, well, I've got a great part for you. You don't have to learn any lines. It's the butler. And I thought, oh, all right, I'll do it. So I did it. And it was the hardest work I've ever had to do
Oh,
because I was on and off every 5 minutes, bringing on props. I didn't have to learn any lines, but I kept on.
oh, I had a role like that in with the VHRP's company when we did The Only Girl. I was Saunders, the manservant, and it nearly drove me mad because
Oh, that's dreadful.
I was coming in. Now we bring in the glasses empty. Now we bring in the glasses with the
Yeah,
now we
that's
take
right.
these out. Now we bring these in. Oh my God! It nearly drove me crazy.
There was a guy and I in the company that we had a competition as to who had the collection of the best butler lines. And first of all, I got "The carriage awaits, my lady," and then he equaled me with "Dinner is served, my lord," and we ended up when I left Edinburgh having to say, "Okay, it's a draw."
Well, at least Bloor is a good butler. Well, that's not just an announcing thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fun because he's a wicked lad.
yeah.
But trying to ad lib, sort out the sort of improvise, sort out the really appalling attempts at vernacular was a little bit tricky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You pulled it off admirably.
Succeeded.
Yes, when you joined us.
Yeah, well, that's right. When I came in again. Well, I have to deal with my GP tomorrow, so I've been sidetracked by that.
Oh God, doctors again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice it's 65 degrees out there?
Yeah, we should go out and enjoy this the rest of the day. It's,
Oh, shut up.
Well,
It's
how is it
about-
over there?
2 degrees outside.
but it's been cold here, Angus. This is our good day for a while.
Oh, great. Well, that's all right. Yeah.
Angus?
Wife
All
has-
day
has-
yesterday.
My wife has gone down to Florida for 2 weeks.
Oh,
No
Oh,
kidding.
Yeah, in a gap between 2 shows she's doing.
Ah,
She's in the middle of doing Equus, so
Well,
Really? Who's she playing? The mom?
the mother, yeah.
What's your wife's name, Angus?
Stephanie.
Mo.
And as I always say, please tell her Judd Fry says hi again.
Oh, I did. I talked to her about it and she said, "Oh, I remember him. Yes, yeah, she remembers that. Yeah."
Oh,
Just in case you don't know, I'm living on the cusp of living through my daughter at the moment because you guys know Ivo van Hove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a new show opening in London next week, and my daughter is in it.
yeah.
All right.
Wow.
I
He's
thought she
doing,
was like
Amazing.
I thought she
He's
was
doing a
London.
revamp of the John Cassavetes film from 1977, Opening Night, and it's been turned into a musical with Rufus Wainwright doing the music.
Oh.
Has she got a part? I think last time you told us about this, she was understudy or swing or
He's
something.
ensemble, and they're all on stage all the time. The wings are completely open, and
Oh.
everybody in the cast is on stage all the time.
He likes
And when
that.
they're not actually
Yeah.
appearing in a scene, they're sitting off stage, and she's singing a lot. But she is. We now have the dates when she's actually playing the role that she's understudying. So my wife and I are going to see that.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
Oh, that would be great.
Great.
I
I was
know-
listening to and some of the music. It's fascinating because, you know, you listen to these new musicals that people come up with, and you think, oh yeah, that's a musical. You recognize the rhythm
genre.
and the lifts that they're doing, but the stuff that Rufus Wainwright has written, it reminds me nothing so much as Kurt Weill or Hans
Oh.
Eisler. It's
Oh,
really
nice.
weird stuff.
wow.
She's second cover of the lead. The lead is a lady by the name of Sheridan Smith. Most of you probably won't have heard of her because she's a big name over here, but she doesn't really travel and she hasn't done
Hey,
much.
didn't she do
international-
Funny Girl?
Sorry?
Did she do Funny Girl in England?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And Jen does not want to have the disaster of having to go on because the role of Myrtle in this show is hellaciously difficult.
Mm.
But she's understudying Sarah, who is the author of the play within the play.
Mm.
She's also understudying Sheridan Smith.
She's second cover on Sheridan Smith.
Before I forget,
I
Paula, you,
didn't know that nonsense. Is she getting paid well?
Oh yes,
Yeah, because that's a lot of work.
I don't think that. Yes, she is, but she doesn't really care about that. And I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, Eva Van Hove is
Ah.
flavor of the decade, and I mean, she's just spent 6 years in Mamma Mia, and
Oh.
thank
Oh,
God I don't have to sit through Mamma Mia anymore.
That's a long time.
Oh yeah.
She's
Yeah, well, she's
awesome.
understudied all the 3 older leads in Mamma Mia. I've seen her play all of them, but the idea of going to have to see that again was,
Oh, yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Mm.
what astonishes me, the amount of money they have in this show is an incredible. She was doing one of the scenes with. She was doing a scene with Ivo Van Hove, and I'm thinking, oh shit, girl, you know. And Ivo Van Hove wanted to take a piece of clothing and throw it on the ground, so the stage manager went to the rack of stuff that wasn't going to be used in the show and got her a dress and gave it to her. And Jen looked at it and said, "This is a couturier dress with a price tag of £305 on it, and
Ooh.
you want me to throw it on the floor? I can't do that, not without getting the okay from wardrobe." Oh, it's incredible. But it's a great cast. It's a good cast. There's an American guy in it, Sheridan Smith, Shari Haas, the Israeli actress who was in Unexpected on Netflix. I don't know if anybody saw that. She's an extraordinary actor. So it's really good. And everybody's on stage and they're doing what Ivo Van Hove does. He has video cameras following them
He
around.
loves that.
To the extent that when Sheridan Smith, just before the opening, arrives back, she's been so depressed and so miserable and so completely angst driven, she's got totally paralytic, and she's lying in the gutter outside the theatre. They actually go outside the theatre and they do the scene outside with the video cameras following them, you know.
Aye.
Were you living here back when you were? There was a theater in Lower Manhattan that did that with every production. I can't remember the name of it. Bill Camp was one of their main stars. And I saw them do a Waiting for Godot, and they did that and some other things. But I don't think
It became
Evo's done it.
fashionable. Ivo Van Ho's been doing it a lot lately. He did a couple of operas at the Met where he used that kind of
Oh,
technique.
yeah. I heard
But
about
that
that.
freaked people out. You either love Ivo Van Ho's work or you hate it. We have a family discord because my wife tends to hate his work and I tend to love his work. You know.
I'm with your wife.
I'm
Yeah.
in between, actually. I think some things he does are really brilliant. Them don't hit.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm right
That's
with
right.
you, Drew. About
Same.
2/3 of them really work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every
Well,
place-
I mean, with this show, they actually open next week on the 6th, and Jen told me the other day how there's chunks of it that still haven't been blocked, you know, and the day before they'd suddenly hit Sheridan with a new song that
Jeez.
you know, so they've got, I think, 2 weeks of previews.
So
So I'm going to try and see it early on in the run. And then Jen's hubby and I are going to the official opening night is with the 26th of March, and then we'll go back and see it when Jen's actually playing Sarah, the playwright, in the play.
Stephanie,
I mean, my daughter, my little girl, you know, needs to change her diapers, for God's sake. And she's now working with Ivo Van Ho. Oh, God.
the man is quelling.
Yeah, I mean,
Drew, how did your show go?
yeah,
It was good.
Loves me go.
It was good. We had a great time.
It's a fun script, this. It really is.
What show did you do, Drew?
Did She Loves Me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kadai.
Yeah, it was.
Enjoyed it?
Anything else like that on the works at this point?
Yeah, I'm doing a musical that starts rehearsal on Monday called The Hello Girls, which is about the.
I know it.
You know it? Yeah.
I saw it.
I'm playing Captain Riser, who's the kind of.
Not that many guys in it.
There's actually it's 5 men, 5 women. But most of the men, there's only 2 men that have like named roles.
Right.
And the rest of them are like soldiers that come in and come out, and everybody plays instruments in it, except for me and the leading.
For you're the only one that doesn't.
You're not playing it?
Me and the leading lady are not playing any instruments, just because. And there's going to be actual musicians in it, just because of the people we have and the demands of each.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, Jen discovered a number of years ago that to really get on, you needed to be able to play an instrument. And
Yeah.
she worked out, what do you want to play? Well, she plays guitar and she plays piano. Nah, those don't work. So she started teaching herself the flute because she thought there aren't many flautists around. So she got to that point because that's the way you get work.
Yeah, it's true.
My sad news is that we just did the Babes in Toyland with VHRP Live.
Yeah.
And supposed to be going into in April Naughty Marietta again, and we've had to cancel the production.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry to hear that, Dave.
we're lacking in funds.
No problem.
So Alice had to cancel it, and so
Aren't there like 100 people on the board of that company right now?
sorry,
Aren't there like a bunch of people on the board of that company? Shouldn't
I'm on the board.
who else are there's there nobody? What's the funds? What's the project?
Alice just announced it, and this past week, there is still on the schedule the big 100th anniversary of Victor Herbert's death, which is going to be a big non-singing orchestral concert. in the sanctuary at St. Jean's, and that's still on, but the Marietta's gone, which is a big disappointment for me because I had very little to do in well, as Paula will tell you, I had very little to do in Babes in Toyland, but I had a nice role, very nice role, which I've done a lot in Marietta, C'est la vie.
So that's the first time she's canceled a production, I think, in all the years that you guys have done this.
Yeah, she always has money, right?
What happened?
We
Lack of sponsors.
we don't have the funds, and apparently, well, we had very thin audiences for Babes,
Yeah.
and at least after the first night. The first night was pretty good. The other two nights were not
We
good.
were trying to find out if she lost a major source of funding recently.
Yeah, because
Oh, has she?
We were asking.
we were asking just because you're on the board, right? Where did
I haven't
You
been
don't
any additional information, so something must have fallen through for her.
yeah.
I don't know, but that's
Bummer. And you also mentioned that she's getting a little bit like starting to think about retiring.
Retired too. She already admitted that, so it may be curtains. Although she said she has tentatively reserved the theater for next spring, but
Oh.
I don't know what's going to happen.
We have a different problem over here because so many of the smaller companies are supported by ACE grants, the Arts Council England grants,
Mhm.
and additionally supported by grants from the local council. And so many of the local councils are going bankrupt because the Tory government has cut back on their funding so much for the last few years. They now can't provide even basic services for the people in their council area. And this is, they're trying to fight back. Welsh National Opera has had their grants sandwiched and basically been crippled. And now people are beginning to look and analyze. And it's basically that for every pound of Arts Council funding that goes into a company, you get something between £2, £2.50 as investment in the local area, in terms of people coming into the local area and supporting the local shops and supporting the local restaurants and cafes. But with a Tory government who are only interested in lining their pockets and keeping their chums in Mercedes and yachts and things, it doesn't really wash.
That sounds familiar.
Yep.
I don't know what does it here, but for a long time, they're always cutting. The first thing they cut in public schools is theater.
Yeah.
Which doesn't, when you think about it, it's such a great argument to be made for theater, which is that unlike every other club in a high school or a junior high school, theater is the one that includes everybody. There's a place for everybody in the school musical. Whereas the French club,
you have to understand that over here we're getting the reports that America, thanks to the Republicans, is becoming a theocracy.
It's nasty.
And it's worrying and it's upsetting.
No kidding.
And if you look at any extremist dictatorial group, when they take over a country, the first group they hit is the arts, because the arts are the people who stand up and say, hey, come on, you can't do this. So the arts are always a threat to the right wing.
Yeah.
Because they've got no answers to them.
Yeah.
And the last thing they want is the arts encouraging the people to think about what's going on and to really analyze what's going on in terms of how it affects their life.
We've got it worse than that. They're now cutting so much education. There isn't really thinking taught. That basic skill of reading and
thinking.
discerning.
You're right about that.
It's being cut.
It's the drift to theocracy.
Very, very concerning.
You don't ask questions. You don't look at facts. You merely believe and say, yes, thank you.
Right, just
Yeah,
accept it.
yeah.
And there's an ideology that it's not useful unless you can make money out of it.
Oh yeah.
We're taught to like learn the answer to the test so that you can take the test so that you can get to a good college and that college can put you into a career.
Right.
Anything that has to do with actual life or how to live it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
And that's getting
Or
worse.
care about the other people that you come up against.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all seems to be getting worse around the world, not just here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm finding retirement is becoming appealing. I don't know how to talk. I go to court. I testify as an expert witness, and I swear the conversation is getting stupider. I'm waiting to walk in and somebody to ask me my pronouns.
Well, I mean, that's sort of de rigueur now.
Yeah, it is.
When they do that, I swear to God, I'm going to say our pronoun is doctor.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It used to be good in Britain because if you said you were Dr. Hepburn, people who moved you into a different spectrum. They started listening to you because that
Right.
meant you'd studied and you'd worked and you'd earned an intellectual qualification.
And that was respected.
Yeah, that was respected. Yeah.
Not here, not anymore.
There's a lack of respect. I think that's really, I mean, I've always said this, if everybody just respected one another, doesn't matter the class or the culture or the religion, then we would be fine because then you wouldn't treat somebody in a disrespectful way. But I don't think I'm going to sound like this old lady, get off my lawn, but I don't think the young people, and we do have some young people here today, but when I say young people, I mean teenagers,
Yeah.
and even younger, are raised properly. They're so disrespectful.
Their attitude, and it has been so in the States for a long time, and it's getting worse, is the only thing that matters is how many zeros there are after the first digit in your bank account. And
I thought you were going to
the
say
only
our Instagram feed, because that's important too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see the number of shysters who make millions out of conning people, and they get respect because they managed to get all that money for nothing.
Like Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh God, please no, don't mention that name.
No, Angus, we don't. I mean,
he's
I'm
headed
terrified.
downwards.
I'm terrified.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely scary.
But
30 years ago, though, 30 years ago, more than that, I had a girlfriend who was an accountant who was into theater. I met her doing community theater. And she said about Trump, this is way back. She said, yeah, but he's good at making money.
But he's not.
he
No.
was
No.
to be, but he isn't
And the
anymore.
problem is that my
Pretending to make
Well, my
Wife's
point about that
cousin.
was, though, is that that was a smart woman interested in theater and music,
Yeah,
and
they
yet
don't get it.
the single-minded pursuit of money and
But my
even if
wife's
he was good at
cousin,
making money, even if he was, that's not the whole story.
but my wife's cousin is Republican and she thinks Trump is wonderful. And she's brain dead, but they happen all the time. My grandmother on my mother's side grew up in a very poor district in Leith, which was the port of Edinburgh. And she worked in a rope factory for years, the typical downtrodden slave labor that they used. But
Yeah.
she loved the Conservatives because she said, oh, they're such nice young men. They turned up at the door in suits, and she always voted for them. It used to drive my dad and I crazy because we're hardline socialists out of Scotland,
Yeah, that's worse. And here I meet smart people who have the same myopia. They just say he's good for my taxes, and without any sense of
God.
no sense of apology or irony. Just like that's the end of the discussion. That's all one needs to look. And
Well, he is good for their taxes in the next 5 years, but by then America will have degenerated into a third world country and a theocracy.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit in Britain. We got rid of you guys because we couldn't stand you anymore. The Puritans, they called themselves like revolutionaries or something. They called themselves. And they
Puritan.
couldn't stand us, so they went to Holland, thinking, well, the Holland, they're Protestant, they'll love us. And the Dutch said, get the fuck off. And they eventually gave up and they got on the boats and went to the States. And they set up this extremist theocratic society. And it's still in existence. I mean, what's going on in Florida is offensive.
Oh, please.
I
It's
still remember
The
you.
good thing
You must
about
give us,
global
must
warming
give us
is
credit
Florida
because
might go underwater.
Yeah.
yes, but just over 200 years after that, Robert Morley got on television and said, "Do come home, always forgive them."
Well, we have problems with
British
some of
Airways
them.
commercials.
Yeah. No,
Well-
what we meant
Pray
was
for us,
come home
pray
and
for us.
spend your money here.
Folks, I have to head out. So nice to
Yeah.
see
I'm
you all.
gonna
Thank
bid
you,
adieu
David.
as
Good to
well.
see you again, Ben.
Happy
Talk
birthday,
soon.
David.
Yeah, happy birthday, David.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
David.
Great
Good
fun
seeing
to
you
have
all.
you.
It's been fun.
Oh, and also Leia got a job. I know this is
Oh
like,
God, Deb.
I'm sorry, never mind. She didn't. Forget it.
You got a job?
Well, we're excited for you nonetheless.
Yay!
I assume this isn't McDonald's. What are you doing?
Yes, actually, yes, I'm working the fryer. I'm very excited. No, I booked a gig in Cape May, New Jersey for the summer. It's Miss Holmes and Miss Watson
Lovely.
by Kate
Oh,
Campbell,
fun.
Oh, brilliant!
and I'm playing Sherlock Holmes. So I am very
Yay!
excited.
So you're going
Wow, that's great.
Fabulous! Fabulous!
Send out,
Oh, have fun.
send out email, send out announcements.
proud of you.
Yeah, if anyone's in New Jersey this summer,
No,
come
no, I
see
know,
me.
I know, Kate. I did Phantom down there. I know how to get there. Send out.
May is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
You're
gonna
gonna
have
have
fun.
so much fun.
Great.
I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
I'm sorry. I
Brilliant.
was just proud. of myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Paul, are you going to be home tomorrow?
Yes, mostly.
The reason I ask is I'm hoping to get to you with the website funds.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a decent day tomorrow, and the rest of
Bye,
the week.
guys. Happy
Reading,
birthday,
reading,
David.
reading.
Bye, Leia, sweetie.
I love.
See
Yes,
you.
what time I'm going to get there, but
Bye, everybody. I'm gonna bid farewell as well. Bye,
Okay,
Kate. Have a
bye,
good
Deborah.
while. Good to see you. Bye.
thanks everybody.
How's your hubby doing, Paula? Is he okay? Doing good?
He's doing fine. Yes.
Great.
Yes, he's out having afternoon coffee with the gang.
Oh God, yes.
I said, well, coffee time is 3 o'clock. And I said, well, I don't know, it's a long play.
Well, we finished just about the time I thought we would.
You did.
Yeah.
3:30.
Yeah, it was fun. This was a really fun play. I liked it.
This is
It's a
good.
delicious play. It really is.
Yeah.
But it's one of those darn plays that it's tricky to do without a rehearsal.
Yes.
It's also tricky to do without the physical stuff.
Yes. That helps so much.
Because
But
people
it's,
are coming in with violin cases and all sorts of things, you know.
when we did our Shaw readings, our live readings, we always had a read through, and then we did the easiest staging that we usually did, which was not very complicated.
Yeah.
And before we did it, which helped a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there are some playmasters with the Instant Shakespeare who used to insist on rehearsals.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless them.
Well,
Yeah.
Stephen sometimes did because depending on what it was,
Yeah.
That's right.
It just makes such a difference. And you
Yeah.
can, there's so many things that need to be adjusted and that you don't realize until you do it. And then you think, oh, that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I remember those.
The problem these
What
days,
did I just say? That makes no sense.
everybody is so busy these days that it's hard to pin people down for a rehearsal. So
Yeah. I think people have just gotten out of the habit. Everybody's just used
That's a
showing up.
problem. I know theatre companies in this country are finding it difficult to get people back into the habit of going to the theatre again.
Yeah.
So some of the smaller companies are
Yeah.
having difficulty getting their audiences back after COVID.
yeah,
People just got out of the habit.
Well, it's true here too. I think.
Yeah.
It has been. Anyway.
Well, thanks everybody. I had a wonderful time. Good to see you all again.
You too.
I shall
Good to see
Hopefully
you
again
too.
soon.
see
Happy
you later.
birthday, David.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. My
And
birthday,
I'll see you
birthday was
tomorrow.
actually 2 months ago. So
Well, that's all right.
31st.
You know, I don't have anything to do with birthdays anymore. They're far too depressing.
Well, it depends on the birthday. You know, you can have a dyslexic birthday.
Can
But,
you?
you know, you have to look at the numbers and see if it works. Some of them work
Well,
nicely.
mine is 70. My next one is 76, and I really don't want to have anybody celebrating that. Thank you very much.
I hate to tell you, my next one is 82. So,
Hey, God, there's hope for me yet then.
well, my mother, I mean, Lord only knows what's going to happen. My dad had cancer. He died at the age of 87. And my mother died in 2007 at the age of 104.
Wow.
So, you know, who knows?
I think
Keep
you're
your
going to be
fingers
around
crossed.
a while.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
yeah,
See you
too.
soon. Happy birthday, David.
Bye, guys.
and Paula, I'll hopefully probably mid-afternoon or so by the time I get up there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring your bag. I can't bring everybody's bag. I wanted to bring yours, and I have one for Vicky, and I have one for Asher.
Oh boy.
But yours is so heavy. I think I can only bring that one tomorrow. So,
Okay. Thank you.
well, you're getting all my those mysteries that
Oh, bless your heart.
I haven't been reading very many mysteries lately. I mean, I've been so busy working on the
Well, yeah.
theater
Right.
things, and I've still got over 100 of those to read.
I have a stack of books this high. I mean, it's just for somebody who's supposed to be retired, I'm doing an awful lot of work. It's really annoying.
Well, my philosophy is it's better to have too much than too little
Well, there is that.
to read and stuff, because if you don't have it, then what do? You can always
Go to the library.
So,
That is the chief thing that is good about reading things on a device, because the New York Public Library is open 24 hours a day online.
yeah.
So if I finish my book at 2:00 in the morning, I can always go to the library online and get a digital book.
I like having the book in my hand,
I do too.
I have read online, of course, but
Yeah, it is better to have the book in your hand, but sometimes, when you need a book, it sure is handy to be able to go to the library any time of day or night.
yeah. I that one thing just threw me this afternoon. I have one page that somehow got out of order, and I saw that. And I thought, what happened to those other pages? Instead of just looking over, I panicked.
Yeah. It's so frustrating sometimes, but it's one of those things that, they happen. So you just make do. What else can you do?
I'm usually pretty careful about all that stuff, but unfortunately today, well, I now that we've done it, I wish we could do it again. And
Yeah, I wish we could do it again too. I want to fix all the things I screwed up.
but it's hopeless to get everybody together again. So
Yeah, this was a hard one, but I thought Deb was terrific as a young gal.
yeah, I just realized I haven't. I'm hearing pretty well. I didn't put my hearing aids in, but what was it that Leah said she was doing down at Cape May?
It's one of these Sherlock Holmes kind of spin-offs where she's playing Holmes.
She's playing Holmes.
Holmes is a woman, yes.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. I don't remember what she said the name was of the play, but
And she's doing it pretty much all summer, huh?
I guess, yeah. Because I know I did one for Deb once upstate. It was called Sherlock's Last Case.
Yeah.
and Watson murdered Sherlock
Oh.
at the end of the first act. And then I was Mrs. Hudson, who had a big crush on Watson,
Hmm.
and
That's a weird setup.
it was really weird. However, in the end,
I don't.
Sherlock got out of the trap that Watson had set for him, and so he shows up again in disguise, and then finally reveals himself when he gets his revenge on Watson. It was great fun to do. It was really fun.
I have to admit though, I get pissed off when I read certain. There's this series of that the series the big new series of Sherlock Holmes stuff it's several years old now, but there's a whole series of them.
Yeah.
And this one, I got it out. I started to read it, and Holmes and Watson had a falling out. So instead of Watson being the loyal assistant of Holmes, it was his nephew, Holmes' nephew.
Oh.
And I thought
that one.
And I thought, is this really necessary? To make this change? Why? Why get rid of Watson?
Yeah. Well, the one that I think is great fun is there's a whole series now of one where Sherlock Holmes actually doesn't exist. Sherlock is a young woman, and she knows nobody will pay attention to a young woman. So she invents her brother Sherlock, who is an invalid. And she is the intermediary who tells you what Sherlock is discovering.
Mm-hmm.
And Watson is actually a woman.
Yeah. Everybody thinks they've got to cook up something new. And my answer to Sherlock and Watson is there's plenty of wonderful mysteries that you can develop, that have.
True enough. True enough.
Don't change the format.
Well, that particular format that I described to you is actually well done. There are others that I've come across that I thought, no, never again. But that one actually was well done.
Have you come across the one where Holmes has gotten married and has a young wife?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I'm telling you, that is the most. If you analyze Holmes and his whole premise of the way he worked, he would never do something like that.
Yeah.
Ever. You might as well get a new person altogether instead of trying to make it Holmes, because it's ridiculous.
Right. Well, they're doing that with a lot of things now that are coming out of copyright. What's his name? Robert Parker's books. There are several different series where people have just picked up and they're rewriting. In fact, the Tony Hillerman books, the one set on the Navajo reservation, his daughter is now writing them. And they seem to be very popular. I haven't actually read. I liked the originals that her father wrote, but I haven't read any of hers. But maybe I will.
There are several of the Falco books that I have not. They're not so easy to find these days.
No,
turning up in the used bookshops.
Yeah,
and I don't know why, because they're very popular, and a bunch of them I haven't read, and I understand there's now some with his daughter. I don't mind that, if his daughter goes, but when they start, lousing up.
Well, it's the same author for the ones with his daughter.
Yeah, so they're going to be good.
They're very good, actually, and what I like about them is everybody ages. So Falco and his wife are gotten older because their daughter is now grown, and they show up every once in a while to help her out or whatever, or maybe they don't, but they're always mentioned. And
that's okay.
Yeah, but it's the same author, so it's not like there's a new author. It's more that it's just a continuation.
But anyway, you're going to get the Oscar Wilde tomorrow.
Oh, yay! Thank you.
I talked about my last thing.
remember.
I
Yeah.
think you'll really love it. If you haven't read it, okay, obviously.
No, no, I haven't.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, okay.
And
Alright.
Oscar Wilde is such a fascinating character
Oh, yeah.
as a person. Anyway, I mean, if only he had, as I said in my posting, if only he had just, I mean, if he had the discipline to get away from Lord Arthur.
Yeah.
Anybody else, he had some other, I mean, he was definitely bisexual. There's no question about it. And if he just not ignored the Marquis of Queensberry, gotten away from Lord Douglas,
Yeah.
and because what he did was Marquis of Queensberry sent him this thing, and he sued him.
Yeah.
Sued the Marquis. That was like he might have just as well cut his own
Yeah.
throat. You know?
Yeah. It was not a smart move.
So just cut everything out. So it's just sad because
Yeah.
apparently, from what I've read about him and the way he's portrayed in this novel, he was actually very, I mean, he was eccentric as heck, but he was a kind person.
Yeah.
You know, he was a kind person, and he did love his wife, he did love his sons, very much loved his sons. And you know,
Yeah. Hmm.
sad. But that doesn't come up in this book. This book is just, you know, earlier days, and he's solving a mystery.
Yay. All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, it's time to take my puppy out.
Yeah. Say hello to your puppy.
Yeah, he's right here. He's all curled up on the floor.
No, we're on for the June meeting at the society, right?
Oh, okay. What is the actual date?
Oh dear. Do I have it written down? I should have it written down. I gotta find my book though. Where the heck did I put my book?
Well, that's all right. You can just email me and let me know so I can mark it on my
Yeah,
calendar.
it's mid-month, of course, as they always are. I think it's a Friday night. Where did I put the darn thing? Well, what the heck? Oh, I know where it is, over here. I should have it written down already. That's May. Where's June? Yes, it's Friday, June 14th.
Okay.
You hear that?
Yes, I did, and I'm writing it down as we speak.
We'll have to figure out when we can have you know, it's the same bunch. Bo is gonna play first again.
Yeah. Okay, great. All righty.
I can only imagine how he's feeling right now about the whole thing with Naughty Marietta and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got work. He doesn't have to worry about losing a little bit of work because he's, you know,
Yeah.
is very, very distinguished accompanist and has worked with lots of great people. So
Yeah.
all right, so take care.
All right, you too. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And,
I'm guessing maybe around 3:00.
okay.
Get up there.
All right.
It's hard to say because sometimes it takes me a bit to get myself together in the beginning of the day. So
I hear you. Yeah.
All
I'm not too good in the mornings either. So fortunately, I'm blessed with a dog that likes to sleep in.
yeah. All right, take care.
All righty. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gotta close this out. Wait a minute. Let's see.